Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for...
Maybe? Maybe it's me? I don't know. Emma, can you hear me? Okay, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
But Mark
Hello?
apparently can't hear you. There.
My ears cannot hear this man.
Yeah, okay. Go take a nap before I beat the shit out of you. Yeah, it's all him. He can take a nap. It's fine.
I'll try first.
Considering somebody just parked their fucking supercar in our bay, I feel like that tweet is appropriate. There was a car parked in the bay, and a guy literally was like, thanks for you harboring me in the storm," and then peeled out of here. So the tweet is out there to compensate.
Hello?
Yeah,
Well,
I
come
think
out,
sitting
come
there
out
and
here so
threatening
we
to
can
use their
hear you
car
a
for
little better.
training. The door can be a silencer.
Now my ears aren't working for any.
Okay, can you try talking now?
Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, now I can hear both.
Yeah.
Captain,
The
can you hear?
door. Yeah, I can hear him.
Okay.
Yeah. I've always been able to hear him. He just wasn't able
He just
to
couldn't
hear
hear
me.
you. Okay, I got
Yeah. Selective hearing from the probationary. Okay.
you. You'll mark that down.
Selective hearing issues. Big minus. Okay. Alright. What are you? 522, you're 550, I'm 555. Show Rescue 1 and Medic 1 fully staffed and available at quarters. Awaiting calls. All right. So yeah, you guys are Medic 1. I am in the rescue. We're going to have to, and I do this, we're going to have to use the tools if we have to pull anybody out, because the other ones had to be sent back to the factory.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Our initial order was, a little. All right, let's head up to the briefing room.
Oh, don't forget to go on the radio if you haven't there, Mark.
I have it set. Pretty sure.
Okay.
Did you go back onto the frequency since you flew back in though?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay. I wish it would like auto put us on since we technically assign ourselves to a 2-1, but
Someone want to let him know that we hear him over the radio. Just give a loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
There you go.
Negative, pick up Alta Apartments. Appreciate y'all.
Alta Apartments.
Did he just say he's at the Alta Apartments?
I think so.
I
We
heard
ain't
negative
picking
Alta.
I'm so confused. Okay.
It's PE things. Don't worry about it.
Okay, fair enough.
3-4-4-1 radio.
There you go.
Loud and clear.
All right. So, let us begin here. So, welcome. As your first day as a new member of the San Andreas Fire and Rescue Team, you will be starting out as a probationary firefighter EMT. As a fire school is yet to be scheduled, so we will be concentrating on the EMT, or Emergency Medical Technician. Emergency Medical Technician is a basic medical position that provides basic life-saving services, i.e. stops the red stuff from flowing and makes sure that the heart rates are going. You are going to be limited in this position, however, just note that if you wish to move further in the programs, i.e. paramedic, advanced care, trauma team, things like that, those are all very much avenues that you can move through. But during your probationary period is the time for you to assess whether you are motivated for certain areas of a career, but also allows you to, in a relaxed environment, learn and ask questions. As such, the policy is there are no stupid questions, only stupid people. No, I get it.
Oh, I lost audio just now. What the fuck? There it goes.
Firefighter program. I will be your direct supervisor for the entirety of your time, both in the program and once you pass through as captain of the firefighter side of the house. So if you have any requests for training, certifications, things like that in the future,
Pick up Alta
please let me know.
Apartments, boss. 10-4.
What?
They're gonna be like this for a little bit, but hey. All right. So that being said, moving on through. What is an emergency medical technician? An emergency medical technician, it provides basic life support services or basic life-saving services, depending upon where in the country, i.e. East Coast, Central, or West Coast, that you may have heard the terminology used. It is slightly different. What this breaks down to is a basically trained primary care or emergency care worker who has the ability to arrive on scene and provide basic interventions to gain hemorrhagic control, perform basic assessments of a patient, and then be utilized to transport via ambulance to a primary care facility or urgent care facility that patient for further advanced treatment. Our EMTs will work hand in hand with paramedics and the hospital staff at Pillbox Medical Center, Paleto Bay Medical Center, or Sandy Shores Medical Center to provide that level of care. Your expectations from us is that during this process, you will not step outside of guidelines that will be outlined in this training. For understanding that if you do so and you are found to cause possible further injury, complications, and/or death, you may face disciplinary and criminal investigation. So I am now obliged to put that little caveat in there after the medical examiner said that if we fuck up, they will go after you. So I'm putting that in there.
Yeah.
As an emergency medical technician,
That escalated so fast.
we affectionately label you as a Band-Aid bandit. By primary care, and during this training, I'm going to outline your capabilities. Again, I stress, if at any point in time you have any questions, please let me know. As an active firehouse, if we do receive a call during this training, go ahead, jump on the rig, go out, but you'll be an observer until such time as we finish all components. All right, so let's crack onto it. Do you have any questions on expectations or anything that you want to raise about if you have any learning difficulties, anything like that you want me to take into account as I rattle off this? Because a lot of this is just me rattling at you probably for the next 20-30 minutes. If I can kind of speed through some things, if you pick it up quickly, we'll get through it nice and quick. But it is basically a lot of me asking questions, and then you answering just to kind of demonstrate that you understand.
I don't have any questions so far, no.
All right, perfect. So, starting with one of the most important points, and this is one that we harp on all the time, and especially at the moment as there is somebody that could be potentially targeting us as emergency workers, scene safety. So, before I do dive into this, do you have any experiences that you believe may mean that you have an understanding of what scene safety is all about?
Scene safety is about being completely aware of your surroundings at all times.
Okay, that is definitely one facet of it. Anything else that pops into mind for you?
Guess assessing the severity of a situation when you first get there instead of running right to someone or to something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That is a good basic understanding. I'm just going to sort of expand upon it a little bit and let you know what we feel in terms of scene safety. And then if you have any questions afterwards, let me know. Otherwise, I may give you a slight little quiz on it. And if you do well, we'll move straight into the Dr. ABCs of EMTs. So, scene safety is important for you as a basic life-saving measure or life-saving services provider. Scene safety is technically defined as ensuring that the scene, wherever that may be, is safe not only for you, but for your patient and for the public as a whole. You, as the caregiver, however, are our primary concern. Because if you are going into a situation which is not safe and subsequently become injured or incapacitated, we may not be made aware of that for some time, which means that your initial patient could suffer complications or even death, but you, as an employee of San Andreas Fire and Rescue, may become incapacitated or injured, which could lead to disability, impairment, or permanent conditions such as death. We don't want that. As such, I must stress to you that scene safety is one of your first things that you should always think of and keep in mind on an active scene. As we work in a dynamic environment, what was safe a minute ago may not be safe 10 minutes from now. So, as such, consistently reevaluate your circumstances and surroundings to ensure that you maintain safety. If at any point in time you need to withdraw from a scene, stop treatment, or take actions to provide a safe working space for yourself, we will always support you as long as you can justify that, i.e., never abandon somebody just because you don't like them. If you're found, to do that, then you're out the door. However, scene safety assessments should include questions, and these are questions that you need to ask yourself. Upon arrival, do you see anything that is an obvious environmental or man-made threat to yourself? Do you feel that if you leave the safety of the ambulance or vehicle that you're arriving on, are you exposing yourself unnecessarily to dangers? Examples of these could be arrival on a scene where there's live wires down and still approaching a patient without ensuring that the power's been shut off, or approaching a shots fired scene without PD cordon, or actively staying out in the open if gunshots are ringing around. Once you've accounted for your own safety, next account for the patient's safety. If they are in a situation that is safe or prudent to move them into a more secure area for your safety and theirs, do so. If their injuries or entrapments do not allow for that, then again, continually reassess for your own safety. Do not forget that you are not alone. You have the entire San Andreas Fire and Rescue community, as well as the Sheriff's Office and state troopers that will be there to help you. So, if you do not feel safe and require assistance, use your primary weapon, the radio, and call for that help. Is that all good there, or is it kind of murky as to what we expect? Or
yeah, I think I understand.
okay, all right. So then this is the part where you get to shine, because I'm going to ask you. You receive a dispatched call, and it is to the pier. A call came in initially that a man was found unconscious. You get down to the pier, you go to the carnival, and you find that the attendant on one of the rides down there, oh boy. Okay, we're gonna ignore that for now unless we get another one of the other dispatches, because that could just be somebody that's waking up and having a hard time. If it comes through again, we'll go out. But yes, you arrive at the pier. You go to the bumper cars, and the attendant is currently down, pinned by one of the vehicles. How would you assess this scene, keeping scene safety in mind?
I would look at the surroundings to see. You said they were pinned by one of the bumper cars, unconscious, or
Yes.
down. Okay. I'd make sure I would see if the ride is still active, if things are moving around. I would check other surroundings, see if people are gathering around, get them away from the scene, taking some steps back, and check for really anything else out of the ordinary, and then start treatment however to get the person out of the situation and into a safer area.
Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling we might have some law enforcement in the house if you want to just go check in with them.
Go in another room and see what it looks like. Oh, hello.
Hey, how are
How you
you?
doing? Just stop by. Just looking around. It's very nice.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
We're all upstairs in the briefing room going over
you're good.
stuff. We got a new
Yeah.
Kobe in.
All right, you're good. I
All
just seen
good.
a guy with an oxygen tank on smoke with a cigarette, so I was a little worried, but
Yeah, no worries.
all
He
right.
he does his own
ambulances
thing.
are
We don't
super
really
fucking
worry
nice.
about Jerry.
All right, this is the ambulances are beautiful.
Wow, thank you. We sure do
Honestly,
love him, I tell you.
Like, I think it's the blue, gold, white, black mix. To be honest with you, this kind of catches your eye.
It does look perfect, don't it?
And then you got the rims.
Oh yeah, you know, the state likes to make sure that we're out there in style.
Hey, man, looks like we just wanted to check by. We've never been here, so we're like, oh, shoot by and check it out.
Oh, no worries. You're gonna have to make another visit sometime because we're
We
getting ready
will.
to
We
go
will.
through some renovations.
Yeah, hey man, do your thing. Well, good luck with the probie. We're gonna get back on duty. We're just looking around.
Alrighty, you have a good one.
Appreciate y'all.
No worries. Have a good day. Stay safe.
Same, same.
That motherfucker had quite the mullet. I tell you what. Oh, that thing was wild.
As we've covered in scene safety, this will be something that you will continuously reassess. Was it Petey?
Yeah, they were just having a look around.
Oh, okay.
I guess from what I guess, I think one of them might be a trainee or a still or something like that. So they're just doing like a tour.
Might be their probie.
I think so.
All right. So yes, things to look out for are subsequently continuously reassessing for environmental dangers such as fire, flooding, falling trees,
3441
lightning.
+1 76 into the 911.
Secondarily, man-made such as gunshots, fires, cars, things like that. Danger is something that is continuously evolving in our dynamic environment, so hence we cover it twice with scene safety and danger. Any questions on the D?
Negative, no questions.
Okay. We like to keep the D small and short so that we don't have to go over it 400 times. However, now we move into the good part, which is the R for responsiveness. Responsiveness is the terminology that is generally given. That's another call for Alta. All right, let's go. We'll head on out to that one.
Yeah, it's the same area.
Yeah.
Oh, a quick tip. Whenever you are gonna be on shift and you're gonna be riding up with someone, make sure you share the keys.
Make sure I what?
Make sure you share your keys with your partner. That way, that you both have access to the.
Oh, okay.
It happened to us the other day. Somebody forgot to share their keys, and we had an ambo that was locked out and useless.
Are y'all limited to the amount of vehicles y'all can have out?
No, but if your partner, like, say, head pops and you're not the one driving, it kind of leaves you stranded.
Oh, okay. So I'm guessing for this, I'm the standing back and observing.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you will be observing. You're gonna, the captain will lead you through everything, but basically we're just gonna figure out what's going on and go from there.
You got the serial numbers on the casing?
Rescue 1, show me your arrival, Alta Street.
I got them both.
Don't see anyone.
Do you see anybody?
3441 76 into your area, medic 1.
You see anybody, Captain?
What was that?
You see anybody?
No, but that's
I'm
not
gonna-
to mean they're not here.
I'm gonna check the parking garage down here.
Yeah.
So frustrating when we get to a call and there's no one there.
Rescue 1 to Medic 1 Droid.
Medic 1, go ahead.
And nil fines in the lobby or in the courtyard area. If you've got nil fines down below, we'll call it a ghost call and head out.
Yeah, solid copy on that. We had nothing downstairs in the lower garage entrance. The adjacent parking lot is empty and the rear parking lot empty as well.
Alright, copy that. Rescue 1 will make the call. It's going to be code 4. Ghost call will be available. Return to course.
Medic 1, same traffic. If you want to set us a GPS back to the firehouse.
Will do. Set.
Thank you. That was green for you, right? It was green for me.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Alright, good. Sounds good. This is where we decide to follow the captain because he always tells me I'm going the wrong way.
I mean, everyone's GPS acts a little different sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, he also knows the city like the back of his hand, and I'm still learning the map or the atlas here. Now, when you pull in your ambo, at least currently at this fire station, right, like how we have it with the back tires on that line, is pretty much perfect to get the doors to close.
Oh, okay. A little bit of finesse.
Medic 1, same traffic.
All right. So we were at the R for responsive. So Responsive is a catch-all term that is used to assess initially status of a patient. A responsive patient is classified as somebody who is alert with their eyes, being able to focus, move around, respond to commands, answer questions, and be essentially as you and I are right now. However, due to the interference of injury, medication, or other condition, responsiveness can decline in other ways. For instance, a patient in a MVA or a car accident may be completely unconscious, unable to respond to you in any way, and unable to follow commands. This would be a classic case of somebody that would technically be classified as being in a coma. Other impairments could be things such as, but not limited to, slurred speech, inability to follow basic commands due to intoxicants, or in certain conditions such as a stroke, being able or attempting to comply with instructions but not being able to due to the nature of the condition itself. All of these different things are important to note, as it can give you an indication as to what may be occurring with your patient. There are 3 ways that you can assess responsiveness: in your previous experiences, or by hazarding a guess. Can you think of at least one way that we could gauge somebody's responsiveness?
Breathing, or heart rate, or a pulse. I should
Well,
say.
Well, that's their overall health status. You want responsiveness.
Oh.
Yeah, like how responsive they are.
If they respond to you, if you ask them questions.
Okay. Yeah, so you have highlighted one. Specifically, you are talking about talk or speech. We use this as a primary method to measure with responsiveness, and this can be as simple as introducing yourself when you arrive on scene. For example, when you arrive on scene, introducing yourself as probationary firefighter Withers, you're with San Andreas Fire and Rescue. Can they tell you what happened? If the person responds to you verbally and is able to give you a description and seems orientated and knowing what's going on, then they are clinically responsive. If they don't answer but groan at you, then their responsiveness is impaired, and this could be an indication that they may have a head injury. Depending how responsive they are, means that your job may be made easier or more difficult, as a responsive patient can generally give you an accurate description and point you to the exact area where the injury may be or condition they're suffering, whereas an unconscious patient means that you'll need to investigate further. There are 2 other methods with which you can gauge responsiveness that will also give you an idea as to their overall condition. One is basic commands. So while they may be non-verbally able to respond to you, they may be able to do things for you, such as, can you point to where you hurt? Or, can you squeeze my hands? If they're unable to follow these commands, then the next test of responsiveness would be a pain response. This can be achieved by either taking a blunt instrument, such as a pen that you have in your pocket, and pressing it firmly into their fingertip or their palm and watching for them to remove the arm or limb from pain, running the same blunt instrument along the ball of their foot to see if they move away from that. Or a more simpler way can be to take your first knuckle and place it into the center of the breastbone and gently apply pressure. It doesn't require much. However, this will generate a pain response where someone may try and move. As pain is part of our survival mechanism, the body will try and withdraw from it. If there's no response to this, then they are in a very unresponsive state, which by medical definition is a coma. If you have a completely unresponsive patient as a basic EMT, you should immediately be calling for paramedic assistance, as this is a major sign that they may need a more advanced assessment and could have severe injury that could require medications or treatment options that you do not have available.
Now, due to current manpower restraints, if he is out on his own with no paramedic available, what do you suggest? Just making
Yes.
sure nothing is terribly terrible and transporting?
Yes. So if somebody is in a very, very bad way, not responsive, but you've managed to stabilize them so they're still breathing, still got a heart rate, any bleeds are under control, get them on your stretcher, get them in the bus, get them to the hospital, let the hospital deal with it.
Okay.
Alrighty. Have you got any questions on responsiveness, how we assess it, or why we assess it?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay. All right. So, moving right along in the acronym pipeline, we're going to hit A for airway. So, the human body is a wonderful machine made up of various moving parts, ligaments, muscles, tissues, and has a fabulous system for moving nutrients around, which is the blood. However, one main component for continued existence of this biomechanical being or meat suit that we all pilot is oxygen. Oxygen is obviously in the air around us. We also have own version of oxygen in bottles. In order for the body to absorb this, it must reach the lungs, which it passes through the airway. Airway must therefore be assessed to ensure that oxygen is reaching the lungs for continued life. Airway obstruction can occur for various reasons, such as injury, obstruction by debris, or due to certain conditions such as asthma, or even just by the presence of vomit. As such, when you first arrive after you have assessed the responsiveness of your patient, you or your partner on the bus must ensure that the patient has a clear, unobstructed, or occluded airway. Before we continue, there is one no-no when it comes to airway assessment, and I'd like to see if you could guess what that is. So can you guess for me, if you don't already know, what is something you should never do when trying to assess somebody's airway?
Introduce air.
Nope, nope, nope. So this one's gonna sound weird, but never put a finger in somebody's mouth. Yeah.
Yep.
So reasons for that: one, if there is an obstruction, you could potentially push it further in, making it a problem. Or two, more likely, and the reason that we specifically say don't do it is that it takes the same bite force as biting into a carrot to sever a finger from a hand. So just think about how easy that is.
I've heard of that as a kid.
Yeah.
Didn't know if it was real or not, but I guess now I do know.
Yeah. No, it's bad. So
Oh,
as
so
such,
sorry.
never stick your gloved or ungloved finger in somebody's mouth, especially if they're having a seizure. A seizure treatment actually is that you don't put anything in their mouth anymore. As such, checking airway consists of opening the patient's mouth and checking for obvious blocks, such as by their tongue, debris, item of food, anything like that. Should the patient have a clear oral area, gently tilt their head back should their condition allow it, and using a pen light, try and observe the opening of the airway for any obstructions, blockages, etc. If this is clear, then look down the front of the neck to see if there's any unusual bulging. Obviously, and I kind of have to say this, and it's in 2023 saying this is going to sound bad, but it's something that I found we actually, for other purposes, have to say this. Regardless of gender identity, there is a anatomical feature known as the Adam's apple, generally in men, that is a bulge in the neck. This is normal and is not considered an obstruction. don't declare somebody that has that. If they specify, I have to say, if they don't, just assume that you don't see it. But please don't don't intervene in somebody's airway if there's that they're answering.
Okay.
God, in 2023, I have to watch my fucking words so goddamn much. All right. back to it here. Now, if you see no obvious signs of airway compromise, however, a patient is not breathing, or they are breathing in a labored or struggled way, or you see obvious signs of lack of oxygen, such as darkening of the lips, blue around the lips, or fingernails turning blue or purplish in color, assume that there is an airway compromise, call for a paramedic, and, if possible, place the patient into the recovery position to allow any potential blockages to naturally work their way out. Now, obviously, if someone has a suspected neck injury or spinal injury, you're not going to be able to do that. So, at that stage, you do your best and place them on high flow oxygen directly from your medic bag. So you would just preferably put a full face mask on them until the paramedic gets there to continue their assessment.
Okay.
Alrighty. So that covers airway and why it's important. Next, we move on to breathing. So breathing is an involuntary action, which is driven by electrical impulse of the muscles and lungs to expand and inflate to take in the air around us, to provide oxygen and other gases to the body as required, which then goes into the bloodstream for transportation to the muscles, ligaments, bones, and various other required areas of the body. Blood will then cycle back through the lungs, depositing byproducts of this natural feeding, which is essentially carbon dioxide, CO2. Carbon dioxide is then exhaled with the lungs deflating and chest pressing out. Now, again, due to injury, illness, or other reasons, breathing may not be possible, such as a chest wound, asthma, or a potential opioid overdose, preventing the natural cycle of respirations from continuing. Now, before we do go any further, I'm going to throw a little trivia question at you. Can you tell me why, in your assessments following the method that we've gone over so far, that airway would come before breathing?
Because without airway, there's no breathing, no air getting to the body where it needs to be.
Correct. So airway is always more important than breathing, because we can actually breathe for a patient by placing them on high flow oxygen and forcing it down their airway. But if they don't have an airway, we can't send anything down there. So bear that in mind. Now, likely causes for breathing issues that you may face and ways that you will treat them. So if you have a penetrating wound to the upper or middle part of the torso, and a patient is gasping or in any way experiencing breathing difficulties, there is a one-way valved chest seal that is to be applied over the wound and ensure that the bleeding itself is limited and contained, but also you are looking to see if air escapes the valve. So it's one way, so the air will escape out, but it will not go into the wound. Do not, if breathing difficulties with a chest wound occurs, try and pack or place any items into the hole to stop bleeding. So do not stuff it full of gauze, do not stuff a finger in there, do not stuff tampons in there. Use the chest seal. I have to make myself stringently clear on that, as failing to do so can exacerbate any kind of breathing conditions, such as a collapsed lung, pneumothorax, or things like that. So do not stuff anything in the holes. Once the chest seal is applied, just continue to monitor to ensure that air is escaping.
Because it can be used to stop
and
bleeding.
that
So
there's no
for like a
further
gunshot
bleeding.
wound, for example,
You
and
may
it's not
also
anywhere near the
place,
lungs where we have to worry about
dressings and bandages around the
breathing.
chest seal, leaving the valve
You can
exposed.
in a
should
pinch you could
continuous
use a
bleeding occur
tampon,
to try
you know, because
and
you could
set a
you
better
shove it into the
seal
bullet hole,
and
it soaks up,
pressure
and it swells
to,
and soaks up the
stem
wounds, and
bleeding.
then you can safely get them to
Other
to
breathing
the
issues
hospital if
such
needed.
as asthma, drug
So
overdose,
it's a legit it's a legit thing, as
drowning
silly as it may
will
sound,
all be
though, but
treated
it
by
does
me
work.
the same way, which will be the administration
They
of
funny enough, there was they were joking about
nasal
possibly
cannula, so
giving
the
them
little
to
tubes
like
that
giving
have
us
the
an
parts that
item
just
in
sit
our medical
underneath the
kit.
nose, the tips go into the nostrils, and it forces
Like, obviously, it was a joke,
oxygen through.
but it would be funny to show up
Or
to
full
a
face mask.
gunshot victim and then like shove a
Should
tampon
you
in their fucking
detect
bullet
anybody
hole.
that has any
Be like, here you go,
breathing
this will help.
troubles, once you've placed O2 on them, observe for improvement. If improvement, continue with the rest of your treatments. If no improvement after
Oh, I
approximately
forget about that. I'm
2.5
so
to 3
sorry.
minutes,
I'm trying
immediately
to like think
call
of
for a
everything
paramedic to
focused, and I'm
attend,
not thinking that
especially in the case
you do
of
stuff like this.
asthma or drowning, as other medications may need to be given.
But yeah, they I think it would be funny as
If
hell
it's
if they gave
trauma
us
to the
that, if they
chest,
put that
do
as like
your
an item for
best with
EMTs.
that,
Be
and
like, oh,
then
you show up
package
to
and
a
go.
gunshot wound, and it's
Preferably
like you
a
check the
paramedic would
body and
already
it
be
shows
there
that they have a
with you,
gunshot wound,
who
and you
can
can
give you
put
more
like a
guidance
tampon
in
in
the
there.
field.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Okay.
Oh, trust me, I am too.
Alright.
We're just waiting on
Any
calls.
questions on
and
airway or breathing?
just waiting on calls.
So just
And then he's
if it's
the guy here on my right. Yeah, it's
if it's
Mark. He just
specifically a
started today, so
penetrating
we're
wound to
going through
the
the whole
upper
breakdown.
chest that has caused a breathing issue, to use only a chest seal, correct?
Correct, yeah. If it's, and I should note here that, like, if it's, say, to the chest, but the breathing itself is not compromised, still don't go stuffing things in there, but just bandage using a field dressing, which is basically an absorbent pad, sterile, over the top, and then
Fucking
an
Texas
elasticized pressure bandage over the top of that.
He's such a
That
goof.
will keep pressure and allow you to move on. That's only if their breathing
Do
is
it.
not compromised. So if
Come on
they're
and do it.
in
I don't
any
even
way,
care at
shape,
this
or
point.
form experiencing a penetrating chest injury with breathing complications, chest seal. If no breathing complications, bandage and go.
Okay.
Alrighty. At this point, just take a moment to eat and drink, just so you don't pass out on us. Last thing I want to do, have you need a glucogel drip while I'm sitting here and educating you. Do you have a Fitbit, by the way?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, so Emma, once we're done here, go take Medic 1 down to Koreatown and get him a Fitbit.
I mean, I can go ahead and do that now if you want to cover this.
No. Get him in the bus, because if you get a call while you're out there, then you can just run straight to the call. We're up to C anyway, so after C, we've done the MDT. I gotta do C, I gotta do MVA, and then go over the restrictions on what you can and can't issue, and then he's pretty well good to get out there under supervision. So C is circulation or circulatory system. This is also to do with the heart, but mainly we're going to be talking today about hemorrhage control. So hemorrhage control is to do with bleeding. To put into simple terms, bleeding bad, not bleeding good. Red stuff meant to stay inside. So that being
Well, that's
said,
great that the red stuff stays where it's supposed to be
before
on the
we do go any
inside.
further, do you know, or have you ever heard of, experienced, or been explained to the difference between an artery?
I really hope we don't
or
have to deal with the fucking
arterial
serial
bleeding,
killer tonight, because I'm just gonna
and
lock out at
depending
that
upon
point.
how you
I
pronounce the
had
English
to deal with
language,
that last
a
night, and I'm fucking not doing
venous
it
or
again.
venous bleeding.
Not completely, but I know that one is significantly worse than the other.
Yes. Okay. So that's a good starting point. So the human circulatory system consists of arteries, which job is to take the fresh oxygenated blood and using pressure generated from the heart will pump through the arteries to move it from your heart and lungs to your extremities, your brain, everywhere. So it has a natural pump to it, and because of the oxygenating properties of the blood that it carries, having an arterial bleed is bad. One, it can deprive oxygen, nutrients, and other factors from the area, but most importantly, because of its oxygenated state and the fact that it is pressurized and being pumped, it will spurt. An artery that's not managed can lead to fatal blood loss in as
3.41
little
plus
as
1,
3 minutes.
10 and 8.
So,
I can't wait
telling
till
the
SACOM
difference
gets up and running and
in
I don't have to worry
arterial
about
and
listening all the
venous
time
bleeding.
to what they're saying.
An
I can just
artery,
focus on what
generally
dispatch
due to
says.
its nature, will be a bright red, almost water-like consistency. It's quite ruddy and fluidy. But depending upon where it is and how close the artery is to the surface or how much damage it has sustained, it can usually be diagnosed by its pulsing in the way that it bleeds out. So it'll very much go squirt, nothing,
3.41,
squirt, nothing,
10:38.
squirt, nothing. Now, this doesn't mean it's going to shoot halfway across the room. It can be as subtle as just new blood coming out in waves, or it can be a active squirting vessel which will projectile blood a certain distance, whether that's a few inches to a few feet. Really depends upon how bad the wound is. Venous blood will still be red, but it'll be darker in color and is generally a little bit thicker because it is filled with the byproducts of the natural hemostasis. So it's kind of, just not the greatest. How you treat these wounds, depending upon how bad the bleeding is, can pretty well be guaranteed down to one principle, which is pressure. You need to keep pressure on the wound. This can be achieved by direct manual pressure, i.e. putting your hand or the patient's hand over it and holding down. Mechanical pressure through the use of a tourniquet, or through treatment options such as field dressings, bandages, gauze, and going from there. So, if you find that there's a severe bleed, whether a vein or an artery,
shut his vehicle off.
more than likely an artery
10-9.
on the extremity, such as
Sorry.
your arms
Talking
or
on
your
that
legs,
screen right
or
now,
a patient's
apologize.
arms or legs, we use a tool called a tourniquet. Have you ever had to use a tourniquet before?
No.
Okay. So it is just basically it's a little fabric cuff there. When you look through your bag, you see it. Basically it's like a buckle, kind of allows you to adjust for size. What you're going to do is you're going to isolate the injury, and about 2 inches above, you're going to place the tourniquet. Then there is a little plastic, for want of a better word, stick, which is a cinching mechanism. And what that's going to do is that is going to cinch in the cuff to apply pressure. You want to go 2 inches above the wound and tighten until the blood flow has lessened. You will never, with an artery, get the blood flow to completely go away. And if you do, they've either died, or worse, you have caused a bigger injury to the limb itself. Some exceptions to where to place this is if the injury is on a joint. So say someone has their knee, the back of their knee cut or hit by a bullet, they've hit an artery there. Do not place the tourniquet on the knee itself. Place it on the thigh, on the upper portion there above the knee, and tighten down. All right. Now, the reason I say not to tighten until the blood flow goes completely away, do not tighten also until you see a color change in the arm. Okay? A little bit of paling, sure, but if the arm, like let's say it's an arm, goes cold or pale, or you cannot feel a pulse in the fingers or at the wrist, or worse, the limb turns blue, you have tightened the tourniquet far too tight, and that patient now will not be able to have it released except by a surgeon and over the progress of a couple of hours, and they may ultimately lose or have permanent injury in that arm. Okay. So again, we place it 2 inches above the wound. We cinch it until the blood flow is lessened to a manageable extent. Then we'll place, if there is a large volume of tissue, so there's a hole there, pack it with gauze, and then use a field dressing, a dressing bandage over the top, and then put an elasticized pressure bandage over the top of that. Continually reassess any hemorrhage control to look for bleed through. So, i.e., if you ever have to bandage anything, just come back and check it every so often to make sure that blood isn't still pouring out. And that honestly is pretty well it for bleeding things. So if it's bleeding, dress it. If the dressing holds, nothing else, no need to anything else. If the dressing still bleeds through, elastic bandage over the top. The elastic bandage will apply more pressure. Watch for bleed through. If it's an artery or a severe bleed or a missing limb or anything like that, tourniquet 2 inches above, tighten down until the blood flow lessens, and then bandage appropriately. Any questions there?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanna touch really quick, because
Mhm.
it's so fresh in my memory. If you go up to a patient and they are missing an extremity, a hand, part of their leg is gone, whatever. Say it ripped off due to a motor vehicle accident, motorcycle versus car, for example. Um, just tourniquet and bandage, and get them the fuck to the hospital. You know what I mean? Like that's not something you're expected to fix there, type of thing.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So with that, there's a few things I'll touch on with that. If it's a missing limb, it does become life critical. So tourniquet, bandage, stem the flow of bleeding. If you're by yourself and PD's there, get a cop to apply direct pressure to the stump or whatever's left. Start a large bore IV.
No, he's not.
Get saline hooked up. Get him in the back of the ambulance. Get the
He
fuck
just
out and
didn't
get
wait
the
until I
hospital.
turned off mode.
Yep,
Okay.
and then it's the hospital's problem. Basically
Yeah.
from there, our number one priority is stabilize and transport.
Yeah.
One question: when it comes to a missing limb, like if from the knee down their leg is gone, at that point, do you still tourniquet for as a manageable blood flow, or do you just cinch it at that point to just stop
Yeah.
bleeding?
You want to try and manage the blood flow, but you don't ever cinch it down to the point where you cut off the blood flow. So
Okay.
oozing is okay. Oozing is good because that means the vessels are still there. And like, let's say it's a car v motorcyclist and they lose their lower leg. The police may find the leg, may be able to get it back to the hospital, and they may be able to, through surgical means, reattach it. They may not. The damage could be too great. But what you don't want to be responsible for is cinching that tourniquet too tight. They find the leg, it's viable, but because of what we've done, we've damaged the blood vessels too much that they can't attach it.
Okay.
So oozing is fine because we can manage oozing. Oozing is easy to manage. You just put bandages on it. You apply pressure with elasticized bandages or directly holding pressure on. And then you get them there and let the surgeons deal with it. When it comes
Okay,
to
thanks for the raid. I appreciate it.
ooze is manageable. So next I'm going to touch on some things here as
Forgot
part
how
of
fucking loud that
circulation.
noise
So
is
the heart
that I
rate.
have.
All right. Obviously, part of the circulatory system is the engine that drives it, which is the heart, which forms the cardiovascular system. It puts the cardi in the cardiovascular system. So with the heart rate, do you have an idea, or have you ever been instructed or told, even through basic first aid classes, what the average heart rate is?
I'm gonna say I think in the 90s, 80s maybe.
Okay, all right. So, statistically speaking, the average resting heart rate of both men and women aged 18 to 45 is between 55 and 95 beats per minute. For all intents and purposes here, however, we are going to say that acceptable average resting heart rate is between 75 to 90 beats per minute.
Okay.
Now, that being said, if you do start to get heart rates in the 60s from people who are just calm and sitting there, just ask them if they work out. If they advise that, they do a lot of running, things like that, that can account for why they're in the 60s. I myself personally, when I was in the Army and was extremely fit, my resting heart rate was 52 beats a minute.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was told I had the heart of a 12-year-old.
Oh
and
shit,
I
I
didn't know how
didn't
I
know that.
felt
Thank
about
you so
that.
much. That's cool.
Uh,
I don't even know how you do that, but
Now here I am in my 30s going, I want my old body back.
people keep
I
messaging.
hurt now.
I want my 12-year-old heart.
Yeah, I want my 19-year-old body. That'd just make me so happy. So anyway, with that, yeah, as I said, between 70 and 90 beats per minute's fine. Anything in the 60s, ask if they work out. However, anything above 95, not necessarily concerning, could be an indication of adrenaline. However, if a heart rate is exceeding 120 beats per minute, 120 beats per minute, and they have not been physically active, so they haven't been running from the police or anything like that, this is a situation where they may be experiencing what's called
Fair enough.
tachycardia.
Yeah, I'm still
You
trying
don't
to
need to
figure
know too
Twitch
much
out,
about
so
that
I
other
don't
than
know
it just
like
means that the heart
a
rate
lot
is
of the
fast.
little nuances.
This
I
can
was playing with
potentially be
Streamlabs
indicating
yesterday, and I
that
got
there is a
like
medical condition that is
a logo
underlying,
set up, so
such
that's
as
there now.
shock, compensating for injury or blood
And
loss,
then
things like that.
I added it
If
to
somebody
the
has a
merch
major
store because
bleeding
it was like free or whatever,
and they have a really high heart rate,
just kind of
it's
going from
because
there.
the body is trying to repressurize with less fluids in it. Sometimes a simple treatment of plugging in a saline IV will lower that back down. Sometimes you may need to knock the patient out, which I'm going to add, do not punch a patient in the face. Okay, I need to put that out there. So, if you do have an extremely high heart rate, 120 plus, call a paramedic.
Okay.
Now, inversely,
Show 3 Paul 281041.
there is a condition known as bradycardia, which is a slowing of the heart rate. If you have somebody with the heart rate 55 or lower, this is bradycardia.
Yeah, I need
Again, you
to
don't need to know too
adjust my
much other
alerts
than the
because I don't
numbers.
think that
If
they
you
are.
see that,
I think they're most
call
of
a
them are
paramedic.
defaulted. I want to
if it's
customize
you
them so
by
that they're not so
yourself
generic.
and you see those numbers, control
Eventually,
whatever
I'll
bleeding
find
or external condition it is,
a good
get
graphics
them on the
designer that
stretcher,
I like
get
and
them in
have
the
them make
bus, get
a
them to the
proper
hospital.
logo and a theme or something. But as of right now, I just haven't gotten around to it, to be honest. Oh, I was
I'm
not
assuming-
technically not
Alright,
gonna
I'm
make
yep,
assuming
nope,
that if I'm dealing with a lot of heart rate or not enough heart rate, I don't have the necessary parameters to administer anything to them in my current position.
That's right. So as an EMT, you're not going to have access to any advanced medications or anything like that. So that being said, if there's any medications that you may know of, and I will touch on that because if they have a heart condition, with things like,
my audio come through
let's say they're
okay? Like, does
prescribed
it stream
aspirin
sound
because
alright? I meant
they
to ask this
have a
earlier
heart
and I
condition,
forgot.
you can give that to them because they're prescribed it as long as they have it on them and as long as you follow the directions on the bottle. But other drugs that could intervene in those conditions,
Like when I
no.
listen back to it, it sounds fine to me, but I don't
Okay.
know if it sounds
If that
okay to
makes,
everyone else.
yeah, it's just because again, basic versus paramedic.
Ah, good stuff. I appreciate you.
And if there's no paramedic on duty to assist me, if I'm probably not even allowed out on my own, I was in a situation, just take him to the hospital.
Exactly. Yeah. We
Okay.
will, as a probationary, you will be out on your own at times. That's fine. That's why we go over all this. You will have a ride, especially with us today, or hopefully we'll get some calls and we'll just make sure that you're able to do all your assessments and everything correctly, and then you'll be fine to go out on your own. You don't. We don't handhold you here so much. So, but don't make a fuss. Get them in the bus. That's the motto.
Okay.
All right. So that being said, if somebody is, when you come in, you have a lovely little tool, an AED. So you can hook them up to that and just.
Popular.
Every time he says, am I the only one that hears rescue when he says whiskey?
Yeah,
Just out
I
of
thought so.
curiosity.
It's the same. He comes in very low for me, so maybe that was it.
Yeah.
But no, I thought he said rescue one too. I was like, well, hold on.
I'm like, hold the phone. Now with an AED, you're gonna think you're gonna be thinking your slash me's a lot there. Just to go a little Oscar Charlie on this. We don't have anything specifically that's gonna tell you heart rates, things like that. So just hook up an AED, do a little slash me reads AED for stats, and see what they say. If you find a normal or strong heart rate, then just treat that as being within the normal parameters of
You are a coke
70 to
dealer.
90. All right.
Okay. So playing
now-
off the patient.
Exactly.
in your
Yeah,
gold
work with them,
sports car.
Work with them as much as you. That's what a lot of. It's going to be a lot of give and take in terms of what
Jackass.
we do here, whilst we are waiting for other systems to.
You're lucky I
arrive and be
realized it
deployed.
was you, fuckhead, because you almost got your ass
Because
kicked.
that's going to be a game changer for us, and
I was like,
that's
oh look.
where there will be a lot more stuff that we will all go over.
6 Funwood Hills.
That being said, blood pressure is the only outstanding thing here. So blood pressure is a reading. You may have heard of it. It's called systolic and diastolic. Basically, it is the pressure of the blood.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
What?
I'm reading things through my head, and I'm just having thoughts, and my muscles decided they wanted to do other things. I apologize. Please ignore me.
Hey, look, it's not that bad. There was one time a guy was in a lecture and accidentally thought too loud, and it was like he was mentally fucking his girl, and it was
Oh
awkward.
my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, he was mind fucking her hard.
Wow. Okay.
He was, mentally speaking, he imagined her moaning quite loud. It was awkward. Anyway, back on to this topic. Blood pressure. So it's 2 readings, systolic and
Oh
diastolic.
man, when you think
The
for some
general
reason you haven't pushed
average
a key
is
for Twitch
120
chat.
over
Oh
80.
man.
That's considered normal. And that's usually what you're probably going to
Alright, I'm
find.
curious
Anybody
as
who
to
has
what they're
any
doing.
idea about blood pressure, you're going to find their readings will usually come back 120 over 80.
Ongoing tracker, so.
However, that 120 can go as low as 100 and as high as 130 and still be considered normal.
That comes
That
first.
80 can go as low as 65 and as high as 90 and still be considered normal. Now, should you find the top number is really high or really low, so either side of those numbers that I gave you, the 100 to 130, that's bad. Call a paramedic.
It's on my end. I
If
have
the bottom number goes
lo-fi
either
playing in
side
the background just to
of
kind of
the
give some
65 to 90,
background music, so
that's
everyone
bad.
it's slow.
Call a
It's not
paramedic.
just,
in
listening
the
to the cricket
meantime,
strip, for example.
look for any obvious signs of bleeding. If they're conscious and talking to you, ask if they have any kind of heart or blood pressure conditions, because we need to know.
I'll post a link in my
Low
Discord.
blood pressure can be caused
for
by
anybody
anything
interested.
from the common cold, blood loss.
It's all DMC, free copyright, blah 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 blah.
Systemic factors, genetic conditions, bad luck, gravity. highlight things. High blood pressure can be caused by working out, stress, things like that. Low blood pressure, bad, means that oxygenated blood may not make it to the brain. High blood pressure, bad, could have a stroke. So, hence call a paramedic. Any questions on that at all?
Alright, fair enough.
No.
Okay.
I'll be on the lookout for your
So
gold
that's
sports
pretty well
car
it.
to let
The
PD know
only
where to
other
find
things
your
I need to
ass.
go over with you: motor vehicle accidents. If you're called to
The
one,
known coke
the
dealer.
first thing that you want to do is immediately assess for bleeds. Forget everything else. Look for bleeds. Given the mechanism of injury being a car accident, there is potential that there may be a lot of forces involved or other factors that create severe trauma, which can lead
Did
to
they ever
Advised
pull you
currently
for that
responding to
last
vehicle
night?
So,
theft. We are
look
looking
for
for
bleeding.
Sand King.
look
Looking
for
for a
Olive
Sand
green
King.
in color.
especially arterial things. Look for potentially missing limbs, things like that. If bleeding is under control, go through your normal assessment with responsiveness, airway, breathing, and then recheck for bleeds. The only other thing in
Fair enough. That
MVAs
car
or
is a
anything
little
that
ridiculous.
involves
Transmission of
impacts to
license.
people, you are going to get spinal control on them. So you're going to put a C collar on, and then you're going to backboard them when we
Last
extricate
is
them
going to
from the
be
vehicle. Alrighty.
Yeah. So if they're stuck inside the car, advise them not to move while you assess them, and then take them out with as
Oh,
I'm assuming
fair
as straight
enough.
as possible.
What
not
are you
moving
are you
the
fully
spine.
upgraded now? What do you top out at?
Yep. So there are ways that we would do it. When the tool's working, we'll pop the doors. We would generally we'll put a seat collar on while they're still sitting upright. And then what we would do is lower their driver's seat as far down as it will go. And then we slide the backboard in underneath them. And then we would pull them out on the backboard.
Okay.
So we try and keep them as straight as possible. We tie them down to the board so that they can't roll out or anything like that. And then we get them onto the stretcher, get them into the bus, and on you go. Now, ideally, there'll always be at the very least 2 basic
I like it.
basic EMTs, so your level on an AMBO.
I need to get the
However,
turbo
you may
put
find
on my
yourself
car,
alone,
and
in
then
which
it will go
case,
faster.
do
Right now,
everything
it
you
tops
can
out
within your
roughly about
capacity,
140.
and remember the motto: don't make a fuss, get them in the bus. There may be some shifts where you'll be partnered up with a paramedic in charge, also known as the PIC. When you are with a PIC, as an EMT, you are essentially an extra set of hands. They may ask you to do the assessments. They may go ahead, do whatever treatments you need to.
No, my
But
legal.
if it's a sort of active situation,
Oh,
where
I did
some,
get the. I
major
got
nasty
the
BooBoos are going on, follow any directions that the paramedic gives you
the
as
Dubsta
quickly as
upgraded
possible.
today.
And if you're unsure, ask, because they are, by the very definition of their name, the paramedic in charge.
3-Paul 4-1 +1. We've been seeing vehicle thefts down in that
Okay.
area, so you might want to stage around.
Some other things I want to go over.
This is like
If
the
you ever
worst
have
one I
the
can
option
so
to
far
run
that
with a
we've gone
paramedic, like if one's chilling at the firehouse and you're just gonna go out on your own, see if they'll team up with you, because I tell you it's quite the godsend when you have one with you, because it just makes the call go so much easier.
Go ahead.
Am I the only one that heard her with stuff in her throat?
I did too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Emma, you got a little something in your throat there. You might want to just cough a little. You kind of came through Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto. There you go.
Yeah,
That's
2-9.
weird.
Who's your
That
Adam
being
unit?
said, expectations for you.
Williams.
You are not expected to call time of death. If somebody calls you down to do time of death, even if the patient has no heart rate, they're unresponsive, and you're by yourself, load them into the ambo, performing CPR in the back, you get them to the hospital calls time of
3-4-4. My
death.
+1's
Okay,
322.
I want to stress that to you. You as a basic EMT, you do not have the power to
10
call
for
TOD, nor
3-Paul
should you
28
be expected to.
3-Paul 3-2
Okay.
direct. You are currently not showing
Can
up
you
hear
on
me
the
now?
MDT system at this
Yes.
time.
Do I still
nor is
sound
your
weird?
location.
No.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay.
Basically what I was trying to say is that if you have the option, if there's a paramedic, hanging around the firehouse and not doing much, see if they'll let you team up with them. Because I tell you, it's pretty awesome when you have one on the bus with you.
Enforce, same traffic on.
Will do.
So
10
yeah,
for now,
my
I am.
Weevil goes like
Now,
140
treatment
by
guidelines
itself.
for you. Whilst we've
and
covered all the basics of assessment
it went
and
like
gone over some of the scenarios that you
127
may face,
at
treatment
tier
guidelines for
1,
you
maybe
are
tier 2
very, very
upgrades.
simple.
But with the tier 4 upgrades by itself, it goes about
You are
142,
not
and that's
to
without turbo
administer any medications
or
that
nitrous.
are not prescribed to the patient that they do not have on them. Your kit
The
will
Weevil's a beast,
contain
man. It's one of the fastest cars in the
4
game.
sets of pre-measured Narcan doses,
And
which
that's
is
base CTA as well.
through a nasal administrator. So
3
basically,
Adam
it's a
876 and
you
2
stuff it
Lucas
up their
vehicle.
nose and you shoot it in there. If they're having an opiate
Gonna be
overdose,
a dark
it'll
red
reverse it.
flatbed truck.
Narcan
10 for have the plate
lasts
and
between
mark down
60
already.
and 90 minutes, so you should only need 1 dose per person. Get them into the bus, get them
No,
to the hospital.
that's the Weevil. That's how that car is.
If somebody has a heart
It's
condition
the
and they have their
Weevil
nitroglycerin on them,
Retro,
for
or
instance,
the
they
Weevil
say, hey, I
Classic,
need my
whatever
3 Adam
nitro.
8 going to be a 10.
modded
Look at the
version of it
bottle,
is.
follow the directions, give them no more, give them no less.
Correction, northbound on Popular Street is passing on
I'll have to log in
with
as Link
epinephrine.
later
You do
and
have
show you,
do
and
have
you'll understand which
EpiPens
car it
in your
is.
kit for emergency administration of epinephrine, which is a synthetic adrenal substitute which is used for the relief of severe allergy onset known as anaphylaxis. You have 2 of those. For that, you put the needle in against their thigh, press the button, it'll jab, it'll administer.
3 Adam
That's
8
it.
on a 10.
If they have their own EpiPen, use theirs. Do not
Yep.
use yours. Other than that, you'll do your normal assessments, gain bleed controls, and then you will be able to also administer IVs to give saline, things like that. Have you ever
Yes,
given anybody an IV?
but there's 2 different ones. There's the basic
No,
Weevil,
I have
which
not.
is very basic,
Okay.
and then there's the Weevil Classic, I think it's
Emma
called. or
here
the
is going to
Weevil
become
Retro.
a bit of a pincushion for you. As with like the AED, things like that, it's going to be a lot of give and take. Okay. So an IV it's not a needle.
There is a
So
new.
if anyone says, "Oh, give me that, it's a needle," I have a fear of needles. IVs are no longer needles. They are what's known as a cannula. To most people, it doesn't really matter, but it is a flexible piece of plastic that is sharp enough to penetrate the skin and vein. It's medical grade. It's completely safe. It's not silicon or anything like that. So latex, silicon allergies, things like that don't apply here. You can give an IV to everybody. The places that you can give it, generally
Okay.
speaking, are going to be, and favorite
What was that I was saying
is
about a
the
known
vein
code
just near
dealer?
the elbow, veins on the back of the hands. You can also use the vein on the inside of the wrist. If you really, really find difficulty, or they've got a lot of trauma to their arms, or if they are somebody that, has used like injectable narcotics for a long time, you may have to get creative with your placements. Other placements are in the groin region. You can place it in between the toes, or, and this would be risky. I'd never suggest you ever do this, ever. You can put it in the neck. Don't do that, please. I'm just saying, you can put it there, but don't.
So
Okay.
3 Adam 8 going to be taking
so,
secondary along
It's
with
just a simple thing
comms.
of,
We are going to be
you'll find with your med
northwestbound down
bag,
on
you can
Popular
actually
Street,
put it
now
on the
taking a
ground. So
sharp
if you want to
left-hand
just,
turn going
think about
northwest,
using your med bag,
southwestbound down on
put it on the
Vespucci.
Have they
ground,
worked on your
just
pizza yet? Or
slash
do you know if any
takes
changes
out
have been made to it so
cannula
it actually
kit,
gives you food now? Or
Comms
then
first.
try and put it in. Wait for them to confirm if the IV goes in okay, because if you misplaced it, and they want to let you know that, if you start giving fluids, then that can cause issues for you. So
3 Adam 8
always
to any
make
other
sure
units.
that
If you are able to come in as
check
tertiary,
your,
that would be appreciated because we do not have enough fuel for
just
full
make sure
10
you're checking the God, she sounds desperate right now.
Show us now going to be
So yeah, just make sure you check it.
southwestbound,
You can flush a little bit of
turning now
saline
onto
in there,
Strawberry
things like
Avenue,
that.
headed
So,
westbound,
Okay.
taking another
Yeah.
sharp
So go ahead,
right
And
let's
hand
do
and
turn,
that's
some,
going
all.
to be
That's all
northeastbound on
slash,
Vespucci Fault
or
Boulevard.
that's all me thinking
Yeah.
about using it. There's
Taking
no
out
actual.
that's going to be
taking a
you
left-hand
slashing
turn,
it
going
for
to
now.
be northwestbound on
That
Elgin
may change in
Avenue.
the future.
If we don't have a
So,
turn area,
break.
feel free
Okay.
to give it a
41, Paul
slash here.
32, head to that
Emma's going to be your
discharge of
pin
firearm.
cushion, and she'll give you a vibe of what you might experience out there. Go from there.
Show is going to be continuing southeastbound on Vespucci Boulevard at this time.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to leave the radio because I did not hear a single thing that we were talking about. What are we doing? I apologize.
You're his pin cushion. He's going
Oh.
to stick you with an IV. You're going to show him what he may or may not experience out on the street. So whether you want to throw a curveball at him, that's up to you.
Okay.
All right. So you got your cannula kit. You've got so now you just look for a vein, and then you go ahead and sticker. That sounds so bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got a English.
Administer the IV is a good way to put it, I guess.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm on pain pills right now, and I haven't eaten, so I'm gonna just think about eating this pouch of yogurt next to me. And
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Oh!
That hurt.
I'm sorry.
That's one way of doing it.
Oh, and I'm right back to pointing, apparently. Yeah, no, that was, well, we're gonna go with that was on purpose, for training purposes, of course, but, know that I love you, and I meant nothing by it.
Not taken.
Okay. Well, welcome to the team.
Now, I will sit there and say, should that ever happen, immediately hit your panic button and get
Yeah,
the
fair.
person arrested. We don't
Yes.
we don't stand for that.
Are they chasing a cement truck right now?
Oh, is that what
Yeah.
you hear? My radio is so loud I couldn't hear you guys.
No,
I had to shut it
am.
off.
I've been hearing the entire little scenario. I think I just heard cement truck. That doesn't sound very good for them.
3 out of 8 taking secondary, so you can focus. Gonna be
Hey,
now
watch out,
east.
watch out. We're in a living area.
I'm not saying that I just emailed the chief and asked if we can use a pumper to help PD take out a cement truck. But I'm also not
Gonna be
saying
headed
that
in
I haven't.
construction.
I mean, fair enough.
I'm following.
You should, a pumper is a very heavy vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out of waters. I'm gonna need to go get more of those.
Yeah, we'll get you all squared. All right. So, we'll consider cannulation training complete there. Do you have any questions at all?
Please come back out to you.
Done for. I'm waiting for it.
As of now, I don't believe so.
Okay.
You ever send me out on a lease to go take care of a downed patient, I'll probably ask some basic questions
That's fine.
or thinking out loud
He's
in the
blocking,
field.
go around.
That's
Go
fine.
ahead.
Shots fired, shots fired.
Oh, that's shots
No,
fired.
that's
Okay.
not good.
Go
Uh-oh.
down towards Koreatown, get him a Fitbit, get him some waters. If you get a call in, divert there, have him do all the assessments. I will join you guys on scene from there. So just keep your radios on. Just yeah.
You eyes?
Preferably have him driving the rig today as well. and you
They
just sit
they
in
look
the bitch
like
seat.
checking the checking the MDT here. They look like they're all over there towards Alta. So should we go to the one over by Grove Street?
Yeah, might be an idea. Well, yeah. Just have him drive so that he can get used to driving the Ambo as
Yeah,
well.
he had to have got up.
I am going to change out to.
He had to have gone
What
up.
had to
Moving
gone
on.
up?
You know what? I am gonna get the car.
You're breaking up.
He had to have gone up.
10-4. Watch the rooftops.
We're going to remain mobile if you want to move, we will.
Oh, I'm stuck. Yep. Okay, when we all come down at the same time, I
Butter.
somehow get stuck.
I jumped off the pole early because I thought I was gonna hit you. Apparently.
Try now.
Going up the northwest building, A165.
Fire escapes.
That doesn't actually clean it. I saw him
Yeah,
clean it earlier.
Yeah, think clean car.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Now, if you ever go to clean the ambulance and you're standing
guys
over
about visual
here and you
spotlights
do it and the ambulance still looks dirty, it's because it thinks that you cleaned the stretcher instead.
This rooftop's clear.
So
Oh, the
just,
stretcher is counted as its own little.
yeah, it's its
thing?
own
Okay.
vehicle. So you want to stand about right here, just to be
Okay.
safe. At least in my experience, that's what's happened to me a couple
Oh, I
times.
see
in the past.
I see the little panel we have here.
Rooftops gonna be clear as well.
You wanna quickly take me over the what is it? The controls for the lights, sirens? Because I know it's a little different than
It depends
normal.
on how you drive. I need to know what you use to drive. Like, are you a keyboard captain or are you controller muscles? Because if you're keyboard captain, then the captain would be the one to ask. I use controller muscles.
I
to drive.
use both depending on the situation. If we're just idly
Did we
driving
check
around,
rooftop,
then
the parking garage?
I use controller muscles. If not, I'd switch to keyboard. Is it already set up for
10-4.
controller?
I mean, I have no
Inside
issue using it.
ammunition.
It's left on the
I thought when I
D-pad to
See if you
turn your sirens or your lights on, and then your up and down arrow can be assigned to your up and down D-pad can be assigned to different sirens, and then you could also remap them to your numpad, which is what I do. So like I'll use left on the D-pad to control my lights, and then down on the D-pad for priority siren, and then I use 1, 2, and 3 for the other different sirens.
Oh, okay.
Like
I
on
might
the-
have
on
to,
the
I might have
numpad.
to set that up later.
Yeah, it's definitely when we have some downtime.
By,
You're gonna want to mess
yeah.
with your muscles.
By default, by default, your Q muscle should turn your lights on. You want to press that. And then your
3 Paul
default
2-8, show
siren
ammunition clear.
should be if you think with your third eye.
Big
real
Charles
quick.
01, show me 1041, 10-8.
Come to the party, Charles 41.
Oh,
And
okay,
then-
okay.
Then your R muscle cycles through your available sirens. And then
Okay.
your E muscle is your air horn. And if you don't have a siren already going, your R muscle will blurp.
Huh.
There you go.
Cool.
And then there's if you want to move the siren box that you see, the control box, I want to say it's O by default to open up the
Yes,
menu, and
it
you
is.
can change it through there, I believe.
Yeah, because it takes up just a little bit of the
You hate
GPS.
when they say Charles has a code.
It's not too bad though. All right, cool. So we're
right.
going to
Follow
Looking
the
forward to
directions
information.
of your
The
passenger so that
The
the
Sultan
person
RS that
in the front right
was an accessory
or the
to those
passenger seat
looting
is
comes
in
back to
charge of
apartment
comms and
shields.
nav.
Oh,
You just
fuck.
drive.
okay.
Shocking as that may be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna go up there to Mirror Park where the digital den
Yeah.
is.
All right. If you need anything, just holler for Rescue One. I'll keep that call sign for now.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Yep, so just bang right here, and then we'll follow that traffic to the left. Oh,
Oh.
and they're
And he's still
continuing.
going.
Okay then.
It was a pretty bad looking accident.
Apparently not.
Do we wait for
So
lights or?
Truck's clear as well.
nope. So this is a stop and go or a yield state. So even if you're in your private vehicle, you only have to wait about a second, 2 to 3 seconds to make sure that traffic is good, and then you can continue.
Okay.
Wait,
I didn't know if it was different for fire vehicles or anything like that.
Nope. So it's the same process. Traffic rules are traffic rules, and then as far as like when you need to get through a light or anything, you can blip your lights really quick. You can air horn clear it with 3 honks.
Paul 28 to 3, Paul 41 direct.
So when we are
What's your
when
last
we're
20?
going priority, with siren, for example, you're gonna want, of course, lights on, siren on, and then we do like
41, were you
3,
10-7 a few
maybe
minutes ago?
4 quick blips of the air horn just to get through the light. Make sure people are
Yeah,
aware you're there
cleared
and that
the,
you're going through it.
vehicles at fire,
Okay.
firearm discharge and
And then that plaza up on the left is where we're going. That's where the digital den is.
Show 3 Adam 8, going to be 76.
I
into
think,
Zero.
that one's
repair.
open. Yeah, you can just go. You can park here on the side, or you can flip a U-turn. But go to that gas station. We'll go ahead and go to the gas station right there and get some food and water. I'm pretty sure that one is also a convenience store. Jack, is your gas station a convenience store as well, or is it just Never mind. Answer my own question.
It does look like.
Perfect. If you want to go ahead and pull up at a pump, I'll fill us with gas. I see that we're a little half.
Yeah. Do you have a pump at the station?
14, I might have
Unfortunately,
myself.
no, not at this time. But
Thank
we're
you,
getting a
Captain
new
Switching
station
Elton.
soon, so we might be.
And then your last.
I'm hoping to talk to the chief to see if we can get the city planners on it, if it can be an option.
It sounds like a plan.
Commander responding.
There's a call.
Charles 01, same traffic. That's on his bullet. Let's get over there.
I don't need food. I got one.
Hey, he's down. He's down. Someone get the medics.
The 3 Adam 8 to medic 1.
Medic one,
Medic
go
1, are
ahead.
you on this now? We need you
What's your
the
six? What's your
crossroads
six?
of Vespucci and Elgin.
Ammunition on Elgin.
10-4 en route.
Okay.
Hey, Wolf, you see that car heading currently northbound?
10-4.
Is that the car that he called out? Is that a Sultan?
We don't know. We weren't here.
It's an LG,
Roger.
and most likely it's going to be shields. It's going to be orange in color.
Car 1, medic 1 direct.
Rescue 1.
Rescue 1, can you proceed to that call?
Already on the way.
We are en route, just delayed. Okay.
3 Paul 28, going to be 76ing after the supposed vehicle. The 3 Paul 28 going to be on a 1038 at this time.
Rescue 1 should be on scene.
Show 3 Paul 28 going to be 76ing back to the last location. It was Brian Walker told him to clear out the area for now.
Random tow truck.
Interesting.
Alright, right here's good. Move us, right here's good. We'll move if we need to. Yeah, move up in front of that SUV. Captain.
Show 3 Paul 28 next to a unknown individual approaching the scene.
Everyone that is on scene, kill your fucking sirens. I'm about to go deaf here. Thank you.
Alright, Captain, what do we have here? Can't hear shit if people are talking. Oh no.
Okay.
Alright. I have to circle a block here. This doesn't work. I'm gonna have to F8, I think, because he's saying that he can't see me when I messaged him. I can't walk through there because that's the active scene. So, but if I run far enough away, it should set me. Oh my god, I need to do cardio or something. This is terrible. I can't run for shit. Because you think they're talking to you. I just saw your message come through. So you get confused on ship because you think they're talking to you all the time, but they're not. It's just a code. That's fucking hilarious. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Captain couldn't, so I took a run. See? Yeah.
It looks like he's taken two hits to the vest, bruising underneath, no holes.
Get that stretcher out.
That Sand King.
Prepo across the street is on the radio, just move behind the machine.
And for that Sand King is something that Marvin Shields has been seen before. All units keep advised to the situation.
God, they really want Marvin Shields, man.
3 Kilo 15, show me wing 1041.
Okay, stretcher is ready. Just let me know what y'all need. That was your Sand King?
He's
Oh,
got one hole in his shoulder. I'm working on his abdomen right now. Where the second hole is.
If you think about Medic 2, you can sit next to him. Kind of get a little closer to the wound. There you go. That was your Sand King, the black one that went by? They were chasing a green one earlier. I think they're looking for a green one. And yours just happens to be close enough, I guess? I don't know. Or they just saw Sand King and said, fucking get him! Let me know if you get jammed up in some shit. I gonna...
I'm packing his shoulder room now.
I wonder what it is over here that's causing us not to sync properly. I wonder if it's a gun club or if it's LF Motors.
Hey, no, I'm bandaging.
Captain, are you able to hear Mark?
Okay,
I hear you,
I've got
not him. See him,
I've
not
got his
you.
his whole stem. He can go on the stretcher now.
Try to, the captain's having issues understanding what you're saying. Apparently,
Kilo
he's
15, show me going 10-8.
suffering from a little bit of the scufitis. So, Captain, he's
1-5
got
might use you on Vespucci
shoulder
Elegant.
bandage and packed with gauze,
Vespucci and Elegant, copy that.
And the one on his abdomen.
and abdomen has been packed with gauze as well. What else were you able to do on the?
Put bandages. His bleeding is slowed. It's, I believe he's stable.
He was able to stem the bleeding in the abdomen.
I made responding to the latest shots fine.
I don't believe I see anything else. I think we can
Kilo
move him.
1-5.
Captain,
Whiskey
do you want to
Ford
get the
scene is
backboard?
down.
I think we should stabilize.
Oh, hey, look, Emma, I see you now.
Oh, Captain.
Good to see you.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so
Okay.
who the fuck just left? Because they were the cause of everything.
I have no idea.
All right.
One of the
so
cars
I've
left.
got-
That's all I know.
Yeah, I got a 14 gauge in the left arm. I haven't hooked anything up to it. It's just there in case we have a tanking. So far, stats have been good. If you have got the bleeding stemmed, let's get him loaded, get him up to the hospital, and I'll meet you guys back in quarters.
3 Charles 0,
Roger.
3 Charles 01 direct. Meet status.
Still green,
Let's
heading northbound on the
is he
freeway.
stable enough to just hoist him onto it, or should we backboard him?
Roger. Give me
No,
the
just
3-minute
help
check-in
hoist
just
him
to be
up.
safe.
Actually, backboard and then
10-4,
lift,
currently
just to be on the
passing
safe
point
side.
B on the
Okay.
freeway.
Which shoulder was it? I don't want to aggravate the injury by rolling him onto it. It was a right shoulder, I believe.
Check
Yeah, I want to say
25
right.
minutes.
Okay. So we're gonna
Okay.
move him onto his left side, and we're gonna slide the backboard under him. Okay.
Okay.
We're just gonna
I'll
slightly
roll him
roll
over.
him. Yeah, we're just gonna very calmly roll him over. We don't want to try to jostle him and aggravate those bandages and dislodge anything. Okay.
Whoever's riding in the back with him, just get a stat check. Make sure you get heart rate, BP, oxygenation. Double check make sure all the bleeds. Make sure nothing's bleeding through when you get him into the ambo. It's gonna be about a 20-second ride there, but just make sure to putting him on the stretcher doesn't open anything or make a crash. Okay.
Alright.
Okay. For the latest vitals there, go ahead, get some oxygen going. That O2 level is minor there.
Yep.
Could possibly have something going
Sliding
on
the
the
backboard under.
inside. Yeah, so hook him up to high flow O2, full face mask. Keep it on that heart rate. BP stable enough for now. If anything crashes, let me know, but you should be able to get him to the hospital pretty quick. I'm gonna get my bag.
Alright, Mark, if you want to grab his feet, or the lower half, I'll grab the upper half, and we'll hoist him on there. On the count of 3.
Yep.
Alright, 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Alright, let's get him over here nice and smooth.
He's doing fine so far. Little bit of
Please work.
Basically
Come
two
on,
took
you
him
never want to
from
work
vest,
for
from
me.
my understanding, looks like he's got some
Try this
bruising. I am concerned there might be something under that we can't see.
Why are you not
Get
doing it?
him up there. He's got 2 superficial
Put in.
GWs.
Is it because there's 2 vehicles next to me?
He's just been knocked out the whole time, but could just be because his O2's a little bad. But
See if you can, yeah.
overall, I mean, he's an asshole. He'll live.
It's not letting me put you in for some reason.
Yeah.
If it lets you interact, then try it.
Alright. So, strangely, when we had that extra cruiser here, I think it was Wolf's cruiser, I
Interact,
couldn't
escort.
hear nor see my medics. As soon as he left, I could see and hear them again. So, I'm kind of wondering,
Okay, if you want to grab the stretcher, we're just going to carry the whole backboard over there.
Yeah, there you go.
3 Adam 8, now going to be headed
There we go.
eastbound, headed down.
Alright, I got him secured. Let's just get the...
How do you
It's being...
move the stretcher?
Yeah.
It's just being difficult. Hold on, there we go.
Yeah, I wish I...
Goes northeastbound, Great Ocean Highway.
Sorry, do you want to ride in the back or you want to drive? Sorry.
I'll drive, I guess.
Alright.
3 Adam 8, next check-in, 28 hours.
Oh, the door's open.
Think about door 3, I think that is. There we go.
Do we need to
Medical in
roll?
around the pillbox.
Do we need to roll code 2?
Yeah,
or
yeah,
three?
yeah, we're gonna roll code 3 all the way there. So lights and sirens. Yep, and then just clear your lights as you go through them and just get us there. Nope, left. It's alright, circle around, take a left here. Left.
3 Adam 8, can we get any additional units on
Yep.
this one?
And just clear them as you go through them. So take a left here and then a right.
3 Adam 08, 3 Charles 01, be advised, myself and 3 Kilo 15
Right
will be
here?
around shortly.
And 4, we're looking for a lowered Sand King. Disregard lifted Sand King.
The entrance is right there on your right. Yep, just pull up into the half. And try to get the rear right up to the doors there.
It's currently making its way westbound on the Great Ocean
Perfect,
Highway.
right here's good. Take out of here. Oh, hold on, it's medical on arrived at pillbox. Oh, it's doing this to me.
3 Kilo 15, correction on orders. Go ahead, spool up Air 1.
10-4, moving to spool up Air 1.
Last known identification, male driving with red article clothing, going to be a lowered Sand King, not one of the lifted ones, going to be black in color, does not have wide wheels stock to it. The high suspension truck we're looking for here.
Alright, I got him. Hey Deborah, we got a downed officer here with a couple of gunshot wounds. One to the upper left shoulder, another one to the abdomen. Last BP. Sorry, my notes were against me, but oh. There you go. I don't know why I went like I'm
To
so
all
sorry.
units, make sure.
We just want to make sure a doctor takes him back before we head out.
Reanimate to all units. Make sure that the Great Ocean Highway is covered.
Just
We
hold on,
have
let me make sure
reason
he's
to believe they escaped that way.
3 Kilo 15, hold air patrol pattern over Great Ocean Highway.
10-4.
Put him in here.
3
Adam 08, 3 Charles 01, direct. Be advised, I'm currently en route to your last called out position.
10-4.
Be advised, Area 1 is en route to Great Ocean Highway. We'll be holding aerial patrol over that location.
Okay. Hold on, I'm just gonna get Tim up because it's. I think it's not working correctly. The hospital's having some issues, I think.
Description is going to be a lifted Sand King with ×1 male suspect in red article clothing, correct?
Negative. It is going to be a normal sized Sand King. It'd be nothing that is going to have any type of suspension, just normal suspension alone.
Alright, they're forcing.
Repol 41 plus 1 en route to pillbox
Yeah,
to be with forcing.
Do you know if one of your officers are coming for you, or do you want to lift down to MRPD?
Stationing on
I think I see one rolling up on the tablet right now.
Alrighty.
Thanks for your help, guys.
Hey, not a problem.
Done without you guys.
Well, I hate to think of what would have happened, but it's a good thing we were there, so we don't have to worry. You know, you're in good hands. You know that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
Not a problem. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Those doors are a little weird. So,
yeah, they're a little finicky.
In my experience, well, let's get into the ambo. We'll talk. So in my experience, it's always a little scuffy.
Yeah.
So just bang a Yui onto the freeway here and stay to the left. Yeah, there you go. So the hospitals can be a little weird sometimes when we drop patients off. If they're still attached to the stretcher, for example, or if you're still holding them, it'll kind of break it. And as you saw with him, he wasn't able to move. So basically, yeah, take it right here.
Right.
And then, so basically, you know, you just kind of have to go into your F1 muscle and revive them that way through your work menu. And, you know, it's because, like, we can't really fix the scuffiness of the hospital not wanting to take him back, you know what I mean? When we have proper medical staff actually at the hospitals, we won't have to worry about that. But when you bring a patient to the hospital, I always recommend just hanging out for a minute, just to make sure they do go back.
Okay.
Now, as a reminder, though, we're not a taxi service, so I mean, with an officer and whatnot, we'll extend that professional courtesy to them. Be like, hey, you know, do you need a lift to the station, whatever. Whenever you find an opportunity to get around this guy, blip lights if you need to. Yeah, going 18 miles an hour in a 40 is a little ridiculous.
Rescue 1 to SO, just double checking you have everybody accounted for. Is anyone driving in unmarked right now?
We can go around the back here, right?
Yeah, I do it all the time. This is how I do it. And then just pull up into that middle bay.
Gave me a heart attack, it's fine.
Yeah, sorry, my patrol unit was...
Break. Units at MRPD, respond to that shots fired, the other closest.
Oh.
Paul 4-1 plus 2 responding to
Okay. I can blip my lights if I am on using muscles, but I can't do the other things.
Oh, on controller muscles.
Yeah. I can blip the lights by default, but I can't. I don't have the other one set, so I can't do the sirens and the other fancy things.
Okay.
10-4-1.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
we're a little down right now, so if you want to go through your muscles and make sure you have them where you want them. Medic one arrived at quarters. Clear. Let's call.
Other than controller ones, I don't really. I use controller muscles for soft driving.
Oh, okay,
and
I
then
get
I'll
you.
swap when
Gold 19's gonna initiate
swap to
patrol
my
of the highway.
aggressive KBM muscles whenever I'm doing other things.
Yeah, keyboard catting, I just can't do, man. It drives me crazy. Like, I do it out of necessity, because sometimes you don't really have that much of an option, but I just prefer to, you know, controller it because reasons, you know? It's just so much smoother, and I'm so used to it, like, I don't really think I can keyboard cat professionally.
So this the stretcher, how does that work while it's like in the vehicle in terms of taking it out?
Go ahead and pull it out.
Just a welfare check at this point.
So you should be able to flex your E muscle to retrieve it. There you go. And now walk over here. There you go. Because if you're too close to the ambulance, it'll make you stow it again. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And then you can interact with it to take the bags off and the backboard and fold it and even sit down on it. So sometimes the patient will be a little scuffed and you can't pick them up. You know what I mean? They can't interact with the, like, no matter how many times you try to escort them, for example, nothing will happen. Or you can't put them onto the stretcher or into the ambulance. So for those instances when even they can't interact with what I have to do, or what I've done, is just revive them using your work menu and then have them sit on the stretcher for you, like interact for you.
Rescue one's returning.
Okay.
And that I've had to do that like maybe 2-3 times, but it's luckily not to jinx myself, but it's becoming less and less of an issue. But if it does happen to where no matter what you try, you can't get them into the vehicle, like you can't whatever, that is a quick fix to get them onto the stretcher or at least into the ambo if anything, and then just take them there and let them do their hospital stuff.
Can I physically load the patient onto the stretcher myself, or is that something that the ped has to do?
No, you can do it. So obviously we're not down right now, so you can't. But if you think about using your F1 muscle to interact, escort the patient, and then you can third eye
loud and clear
the stretcher and put them into the vehicle, and it will put them in it.
Along with 3 Adam 08 are going to be conducting a search
interaction.
at the lumber
Okay.
mill.
I was confused. You were saying F1. I have my you're talking about my my wheel,
your
right?
radial,
okay.
your radial muscles there.
I have that rebound. So
oh, okay. Well, whatever your radial is attached to, you go to your interact escort to get them to hold them, kind of thing, and then you
interact, like put in vehicle. Escort. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Strike a pose.
Charlie 01, this is Golf 1
Come on,
Niner.
Mike.
I'm near your position.
Strike a
I'm
pose.
gonna be
Fold
en
the
route
arms.
to
Look
your
sexy. Do something. You're going on Twitter. You're gonna be Sapper's poster boy for the day.
Talk to me, Whiskey 14.
After this recent OIS, we have more than substantial proof to have a felony warrant out for Marvin Shields' arrest. Can we go and greenlight a fast operation on the strip club if he's still present?
Interrogative, Whiskey 14. Did you get body camera footage of Shields discharging his firearm?
Hey, firm, he does have a concealed mask, but voice identification in addition to vehicle registration without a stolen report should be enough.
10-4.
But we need to try to figure out if that PD unit was using an old car, or if it was just too many of the new fleet around.
10-4. Whiskey 14, Charles 01. Let's
Yeah,
take a
there's
look at
something else going on there
Twitter.
altogether.
User by the name of Appa Stappa. Quote, Deputy Forcing learned the hard way that the RAM game don't play with the gang shit.
10-4 tracking on it now.
I got a screen capture of it.
Yeah, Shields is leaving the strip club now. I can see his vehicle. He's baiting us, honestly.
Roger. Hold for now. I'm gonna get on the horn with the governor. Meantime, Kilo 1-5. Keep a good distance, but keep eyes on him if possible.
Be on the same radio as
Pre-Paul
PD is
2823
really
Charles
interesting.
1
It can get a little hectic, yeah.
That idea of mine still
But
stands.
it's cool
I can
to
go 42
it is
and we
cool
can
to
use
listen
it.
in on.
Negative.
It is very helpful to know if you have a sneaking gut feeling that
Air
a
1 currently
situation is
moving
about
back
to go
to Los Santos City to
FUBAR,
keep eye on Marvin Shields after
and to
review.
I guess get ready.
Direct
Right.
Charles 01.
Yeah, like if there was multiple units, like we were able to, like we had a second ambo out, you know,
Or
a shots fired call, we
we know
we
where
could
impounded police
listening
vehicles ended up?
listening to the radio, we can
locate
kind of
2
decide on
vehicles at
what
this
type of
point.
unit we need to send that way. We were doing that yesterday for a little while.
10-9 your last.
Yeah, I heard
we're missing
yesterday
2
y'all
police
had
chargers
quite
that
a
have been impounded or no longer.
quite
Yeah,
a bit of action.
Last
Where are they
night was
gonna go?
fucking terrible, just plain and simple.
It appears that the impound company needs
Just
another lesson.
just a shorthanded
if we can get their
for
license
the
plates,
sheer
Um,
amount at one time.
Well,
I've got mine.
it's more of the situation
one,
got so
send
out
me
of
an email.
hand that an entire staffed PD department just left because they were done with it. And there
Oh.
was only me and the captain here, and then 2 other PD units dealing with the non-stop nonsense for almost an hour,
wow.
chasing this guy all over the damn state practically, and it sucked. It really sucked.
There you go. You're Twitter famous, Mark.
Hey.
Uh-oh. I know I've gotten a few likes on my own
Pre-Paul
profile,
28
but
to 3 Charles 1 direct.
Break. 3 Charles 01. Be advised, last seen Black Sand King heading eastbound Great Ocean Highway. Nearest postal 1012. Just dusted me.
And 4-3 Adam 8 is going to try and intercept at objective Golf.
Roger, I'm gonna see if I can't swing behind them.
nice. Did I success? Yeah, okay, I did.
I feel like maybe once per day I should put someone out there so people can get to know us. Means I have to get Bella and all that. I have to get Bella, Lily, Elizabeth, Blake, the Chief,
Mate, we're set up on the freeway objective
Theo.
I wonder if someone could develop a
Roger, be advised,
system where you can
I'm
have
currently
an
VCV at this
official
time. Last seen heading eastbound.
SAFR page.
I think we got eyes on him.
I mean, theoretically, I could just create a Twitter account and just call it San Andreas Fire and Rescue and just be in
And
charge
4
of
is
it.
heading southbound Sonora Freeway, not stopping.
This is very true,
Air 1,
Captain.
can you
That-
76
That's a
or
good
locate?
idea you just had. Congratulations. I
Once
endorse
I'm
it.
refueled, yes.
He just rammed a
It's
local
just-
off the road.
Out of one fire into the next. Also,
And
is
4
there
pit
any
maneuvers are permitted.
is there any reason
given,
that man
Sand
was there for any purpose, or does he just
gotta
hang
do what we
around?
can.
That
Maybe
is
take a
our
local
vehicle
down,
guy.
Gus, he's
Oh.
he's a garage attendant. Yeah, if you
Obviously,
go up
only
and,
pitted approved
use your
speed, do what you
third
can.
eye with him, you'll
Trying to
see.
meet up with you guys now. I'm currently approaching
fleet.
mile marker Fox.
Just so you're aware, while you're in EMT,
Oh, wow.
the only thing that you are going to be using
Air 1 is 72 or 70.
Ambo.
Whatever the code is over to your location.
That would be the
Show the plate read as
450
follows:
ambulance?
VNVXTLGP.
Once you go through fire school,
Someone can run a plate
you
trace on
will
that. I'm
be
currently holding my hand on the wheel.
eligible to pull out the engine.
Did
you wanna go
y'all
ahead?
did y'all get that big engine yet, or do y'all still have y'all's other one?
Roger, give me a read
No,
back.
go ahead. Pull the engine.
For it is going to be
Rush? No, not Rush.
The Enforcer Pumper is what it's called.
Oh God, I am. Don't.
You're gonna think.
See
You're gonna think.
vehicle
No,
comes back
you're
registered
thinking
to
on
a
it for a moment.
Mr. Frank
Give it a second.
Falcone.
He's gonna step out of the vehicle.
I see the two enforcers. The one's the
Yep.
engine. You're
That's
talking about the engine.
Enforcer engine. Yep. It's also, we know it as a pumper.
There it is.
I can't get out.
Risky 14 to 3 kilo 15.
Flex your X muscle and then hit F. Your F
3
muscle.
kilo 15 reads all.
Jump out
Yep,
for.
there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Personnel
Let
missing
me get
vehicles,
this
can they
rigged right.
Borrow your Explorer for the time being, as long as Dax isn't inside it.
Dex
Fine,
is
yeah,
currently
I need a few more
inside of
lights
it in
out
the
here.
kennel. Be advised, it is also locked. I'm not sure if you can get it unlocked.
Just come next to the door and think about /give keys and just, yeah, if you could do that, that'd be great.
Air 1 on scene.
What is your
on Sonora Freeway.
special
Nope.
number of the day?
Just
No,
give
just
keys.
think. Yeah, if you just think give keys, it'll give it to everyone next to you,
Be
basically.
advised, it is only pilot, no navigator currently on
It
board.
is not allowing.
Air 1, I can get you.
Get in the vehicle with them then. Hit, yeah, just jump in with them and do it, and then do it. All right, now do it.
Leaving a navigator on the rooftop at
There you go.
FRPD for you, Air 1.
Yeah, if
Air 1 is en route.
if ever standing next to it doesn't work, get in the vehicle and then do it. But just be advised that it will give the keys to anyone that's in the vehicle. That's like.
What's the status on
So
the
if you
plate?
only want to give it to say the passenger and you don't want the people in the back to have it, just that's when you'll need to worry about your government
Believe plate was
identification
read
number.
to come back to a Mr. Frank
Okay.
Falcone.
10-4, thank you.
Frank, they are looking for you, dog.
Vehicle is not currently reported stolen at this time.
Are they traffic stopped on you?
Golf 19, let's go ahead and
Vehicle
clear up
with
the
the shots fired.
highway traffic.
Do we have confirmation that this was the vehicle with shots fired?
Stand by.
Oh, don't worry about that. If he's in the customs menu,
standing by on the
technically the engine isn't there, and you can kind of walk through it.
Okay. Because I kept seeing a little sign here that says workbench.
Dispatch doesn't keep
Yeah,
that's all it
call
said.
in long enough. So
Yeah,
I
the
got
safer
nothing.
workbench. That's so that we can customize the engines as
I'm
needed.
gonna be
Okay.
4 here. I'm gonna
Like
release them.
sometimes you'll
Yeah,
pull the
okay,
ammo
no
out and
problem.
the doors are missing, for example.
10-4.
You gotta put those back
Oh.
on. It's one of the extras.
419er heading back south.
Paul 28 to Charles.
This thing looks really nice.
Advise Shields did the thing again. Pull back here in a second and explain.
Roger.
So, just so that we know, 9, 8, 10, and 11 are all the fucking takedown spotlights.
Yeah, it's on the ambulance. It's 9, 8. Or sorry, 8, 9, 10, 11, and no. 9, 10, 11, and 12 on the ambulance. I want to say.
Should I prepare
That's like the last
full
4.
unit activities?
Yeah, 9, 10,
I
11,
should do
12.
this.
Stand by. Still awaiting confirmation from the governor.
Oh.
10-4.
This is Air 1 with times
Oh,
1
wow.
navigator. Where do you want me?
Yeah, so we got.
Oh, hello.
Anyway, we're gonna be code 4 at this traffic stop.
We've got. More tools, technical rescue stuff. So, even though you might be assigned to the engine and you may have up to 3 people on the engine, you'll have the person that's in charge or the senior firefighter will take the front passenger seat. They'll have the junior guy
Air
that'll
1 is
generally
gonna
be
perform aerial
driving.
patrol
If you're
around
a
Los
real junior
Santos.
guy and we've already got
If
2
I'm
on
needed,
and you're
go
throwing
ahead, let
on,
me know.
you'll get in the back.
All right.
Yeah, This is the this is what's known as the pumper. So the way all the call signs work, just so everybody's clear on it, it's the order that they come out, and there's a set order. So there must be 2 ambos before the first engine can come out. Then it'll be that will be engine 1. Then there'll be a rescue or squad truck, which is kind of the body with the dive gear in it that I've been driving. That's going to be rescue 1. Then you get ambo 3. Then you get ladder. Then you get another squad or rescue, and then it kind of folds in from there as needed. So to have basically, we would have 6 for the ambo. So if we had 12 people on duty, we would have a pumper, a ladder, a squad for fire and rescue, and then 3 ambos for support. One of those ambo crews can be folded in to do other things if they are firefighters as well. So having your firefighter cert means that when you come on, or an officer or a shift supervisor comes on, they'll take you into the briefing room, they'll assign you to the apparatus, and you go from there.
Hey, Captain.
Yeah.
It looks like that guy from last night's starting to get active again. If that becomes a thing, I'm gonna fly out for the evening.
What makes you say that?
Twitter. Or Birdie, whatever we're calling it now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, after dealing with that for over an hour last night, I'm not doing it again for 2 nights in a row. I'm sorry, I'll have to fade out after that, if that's the case.
No, that's fine. I mean, you got to do what you've got to do to look after yourself. So, all right, let me get these rollers shut up, and then Mark, I'll get you to roll this into the bay, and then you go see Gus and you ask him to put it away for you.
Okay. I was just about to ask how we put them away.
Yeah, same way that you got it. You just talk to him and he puts it away for you. Now, if you fly out, sorry, if you, oh my god, I forget I'm in the door. If you fly out, and come back in, you won't be able to put your vehicle away. You'll just have to stash it somewhere.
Good.
Okay.
The best of your recollection was Shields running anything to cover his voice.
And do y'all normally
Negative.
lock
Got
the
good
vehicles
voice
inside the station?
If you're
Paul 4-1. Positive ID on Marvin Shields at the VU currently.
So they
He is on foot.
I always recommend, if you're not gonna be with it, then yes, lock it.
3 out of 8.
Okay.
Just because you don't want anybody getting in there and stealing any kind of medical supplies that we might have or anything like that. So if if you're gonna go upstairs, for example, or if you're gonna go into the other room and work out, you know, or if you're going upstairs to like the lounge, then yeah.
I want all marked units. Once Golf 19 has arrived to clear out.
Alright, go ahead, talk to Gus, get the engine put away.
And did we get the operation sanctioned by the governor?
Didn't, but I don't want someone to keep eyes on him, and I don't want him to be suspicious.
3.41, positive ID on a secondary vehicle.
Yeah, he was just asking if we lock our vehicles while we're at the firehouse, and I say yeah, you know, just like with your personal car, you know, if you're not going to be with the vehicle, then it should be locked.
Solid copy. Try not to bring any attention to yourself.
But the crafting area in that garage over there, that's where I keep running into people trying to get in there.
Did I do it right?
Yeah,
yes, that's correct.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
So I did a little thing over here.
1, once Golf 19 arrives, make sure to refuel again.
10-4, will do.
Golf 19, if you think you are getting too close to
I like it.
turn,
I like
call
it.
in Air 1, he'll take over for a bit.
3.41, there's a tertiary vehicle approaching.
Use
the
that,
VU
use some hazard spray paint and just put it up there so people
Correction,
realize
2
that we're gonna have our own fur missile running around here soon.
Ooh.
Good.
Yeah, her name is
Observation,
Tuesday.
I'd like to do a plainclothes
Just working
as well.
out the
I'll stay
adoption
exterior for surveillance and cover on Golf 19.
Gonna be a
like
Dalmatian.
Yeah, because that was surprising this morning. I'm not gonna lie, especially after everything last night, and then I come here and there's somebody in the firehouse that shouldn't be. It's like, what are you doing there? And he literally was like, oh shit, and then ran. Like, well, this got awkward.
I understand that.
Yeah, you could put your fucking phone on silent. Why the fuck did nobody tell me that?
Wait, what?
3.41,
Wait, what?
Oh my goodness. I did not know
Where
that's
the
a thing.
silent switch is, you could, yeah.
LG Retro Custom
Wow.
silver in color, blue underglow,
We're learning all kinds of things today.
silver box.
That's more than likely going to be civilian branch.
I still have to say my,
Negative on that, that'll be Tony.
hashtag Sapper would like to say, we'll always help you out, but our firehouse is not a garage, nor is it a shelter. Please do not use our house in that way. Otherwise, we'll take your car as a donation for training.
Yes.
Solid copy, thanks.
There
Is
is
that-
a
Switch to deck 5.
We do need test subjects for extrication training all the time.
3.41.
Oh yeah,
there
I was
is
gonna
a,
ask when
fourth
on duty,
individual,
if we get here
cameras
in
not able to
personal
get a read on
vehicles,
him.
we can
He's,
park them in the side
area
parking lot.
to
Up
the
here. I'll show you.
Correction, Sand King has arrived.
Yeah, so
If you can't get a readout of the plate of that same
I
thing.
park under here just because I have a motorcycle. I always park under here.
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
I have a few vehicles, but my main daily is the Sand King.
Lots of interesting Sand King talk tonight. I don't know. I think I'd be second guessing a vehicle.
Plate on the Sand King, black in
Huh.
color, is Victor,
Well, that's not-
Niner, Victor, Xavier, Thomas, Lance, Go.
That's not
Postal.
concerning.
Is that a footprint or a red footprint?
Yeah, that's a
3.41.
confirmed
Yeah,
bloody
that-
Marvin
red
Shields
footprint.
seems to be speaking with 3 civilians
Hmm.
in the parking lot of the BU.
Golf 19, what's your status?
We're approaching the VU in Vic now.
Alright, back away a little bit because we don't want to contaminate the possible scene going on.
Yeah.
We'll need to reach
Be
out to
advised, when
PD.
you arrive on scene, I'm gonna
Or
go ahead
Captain
and
is.
refuel my bird, and then I'll be right back on scene and give you air coverage.
10-4, I'm on scene.
3.41, the LG seems to be leaving the area.
I'm gonna go use the I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. And I'm gonna move my Sand King up here.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
Marvin +2.
there's a
are
bloody
remaining
footprint
outside
at
of
my
the-
truck. A
Well, it
bloody
doesn't matter,
footprint
Marvin is
at
a
my truck, my personal truck, in the parking lot.
I'm gonna go check downstairs and make sure no other vehicles have been messed with.
Hey everyone, if you're able to resume contact after refuel at a higher elevation, I think we can hear your rotor. It's too loud from the ground.
Everyone copies all.
Emma, head back inside. Jess is gonna send someone down here.
Okay.
Show 3 Adam A going to be 76ing to the
I didn't find
firehouse,
anything
going
next to
code
my
3.
vehicle, at least.
All suspects are entering.
I didn't look anywhere else, so.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
technically that utility that's hanging out over there is mine as well. But
Oh, the one that's parked there?
the old paint scheme, yeah, they had,
Golf 19 is lost visual.
Theo gave it to me accidentally, so I just parked it there.
I mean, fair enough.
4 Golf 19.
Oh, speaking of personal vehicles, I keep
Yeah.
forgetting to ask you, where do we buy our own ambulance at?
Oh, yeah, I'll show you. We'll go once Jess comes and takes a look at this.
Yeah, sounds good.
We'll, I'll take the Durango and we'll take Mark with us.
Alrighty. Oh, he's moving his car.
Golf 19, are you able to
I was like, what's he
confirm
doing?
if we have access through the back door if that's locked up?
Checking now.
10-4.
Fire badge 555.
for Rescue 1.
Switch TAC 5.
Copy. Rescue 1, I'm 5. Yeah, we're all at El Burro, 9332. Yeah, copy.
Be advised, back doorway is going to be closed. Gonna check for any other cases.
Alright, he's perking up. Just keep an eye on him. They're on their way in. They don't want us going anywhere.
Okay.
This back door can be unlocked, though. I repeat, can be unlocked.
You know, I won't lie. I didn't think I was gonna have to deal with this today.
3 out of 8 on scene at this time, disembarking beyond.
Confirming on scene at the VU? Or
Negative.
Fire station?
Fire station, dealing with another situation. We'll inform you when we can.
10-4. 3 Charles 1, direct. What's your 20?
Hello again.
Yeah. What's the situation? Nothing maybe.
Right. So we were just showing Mark the parking lot for our POVs, and as I went up to show him my vehicle, passenger side wheel has a single bloody footprint next to it. Just one. No prints leading up to it. No prints leading away from it. Just a single bloody footprint.
Negative. Suspect still inside.
Can you show me where it's at? The rest of your progress
Direct 3 Charles 1.
Open 3 Charles 1.
What's your 20, sir?
Does she ever gun out?
20 position
Yeah.
southbound Sonoran
Oh,
Freeway,
Lord.
nearest postal
She
3052.
was one of the officers that had to deal with that asshole last night doing all that shit. So.
4, Captain's office.
Question about those. If we deal with a clear-cut
We're posted up.
DOA murder or whatever goes on like that, do we act like a coroner's office, or do they have that their own department for that?
Yeah, we have medical examiners, so you can reach out to them through the services app, because as of right now, they are not on radio frequencies for us.
Okay.
That's subject to change, but as of right now, they are not, unfortunately. So you'll have to just reach out via phone or through the services app. But yeah, we would reach out to the medical examiner and take care of it from there.
Okay, so we
usually,
just like
PD.
so we just come in and like kind of like assess. Yes, person is unalived and things like that.
So our first priority is always the patient. You know, because technically PD doesn't have the know-with-all, which it is very kind of slap in the face if you ask me. But technically PD does not have the know-it-all to determine that situation. Us as being medical technicians, you know, we would make that. You know, we still would have to get in there and attempt to save the life. But I mean, at that point, if the life is already extinguished in a way, dead or like a DOA, then we would still try to do what we can and then transport to the hospital, or we would call a medical examiner at that time or something like that. The captain would be better able to explain that. Last night still is fucking fresh in my head, and I'm not too happy about it, to be honest.
I understand why. I saw some news about it. It didn't look too pretty.
No, I wasn't. It was a shit show. Just to put it lightly, it was a shit show.
Okay.
Well, I think we need to set a plan in place when Charles 1 gets down here. Before we miss our window.
Yeah, last night was not very fun, to be honest, because it was just nonstop. You know, like once. It started with someone dissecting a body on Vespucci Beach, and it went all over the city from there and ended up into the Rockford Hills, and it was like a non-stop, just constant go with no downtime whatsoever for easily over. Yeah. So it wasn't fun at all. Like I tell you what, it was not a great time, to say the least. I've been assured that that's not like how it's technically supposed to go down, in a manner of speaking.
The second time in one mic that Morphin Shields has come outside and then re-entered the VU.
I may have to swap my radio out. I didn't realize how huge it is on my. Anyway, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Question.
Golf 19, are you able to
When it comes to like getting on a scene and there's a patient where you
Call 28 to Charles.
where you're thinking out the actions and stuff, when is there just a point where you just kind of throw bandages on them to get them like stable and still like kind of alive but
Switch
still
to
taking
Cat
them to the
5
hospital
for a
type
brief
deal?
Yes, definitely. You're always gonna have kind of like that scenario in the back of your head because you can only do so much at the scene. You know, if it's something like a gunshot wound, like with Officer Forcing, right? When he had the gunshot wounds, we stabilized him the best of our ability there at the scene, and we transported because we do not have not only the tools or the equipment, in the field to handle that type of critical injury. But like that's a reason why we have the hospital staff. So we would, stabilize on scene to the best that we can. As soon as we feel that he is stable enough to be transport, we transport. Now, if it's something life critical, such as like a gunshot wound and they are actively losing blood and nothing we're doing on scene is good enough to stabilize, then do whatever you can to like pack the wound if you have to, or put a dressing over it like a one-way valve. Or something like that, and then just fucking transport, because your job is to stabilize and transport. There's nothing further in your job description you have to fucking worry about. If it's something like, motor vehicle accident and they're for the most part fine, like they just kind of got hit, but they're okay, maybe a little woozy or whatever, and they feel fine enough to go off on their own, then yeah, you can just let them go off on their own. You kind of have to look at what their injuries are, how severe they are, and just and kind of go off from there.
Okay. Because I noticed on the scene with Forcing specifically, there was a moment where it was presumed by the city that he had passed, but he wasn't because we were still working on him.
Correct. You don't worry about that. That's gonna happen whether you can. That's out of your control. So you focus on the patient at hand and what the patient is telling you. Just to kind of go, Oscar Charlie on this one. They lead their RP, so they lead all of the damage, all of the injury, all of that stuff. You just guide it in a way. You do what you have to do and then guide it from there. But they are the ones that will tell you, this is how bad my leg is bleeding. It's this type of injury. Now, when we get the new medical system, you'll actually be able to see all of that pretty in depth from the way it was described to me.
Oh, okay.
Call me if you need anything.
Yeah.
All
right. Yeah, we're gonna go in the Durango. That did not go away. Perfect. It's a person injured. Yeah. All right, you guys get on 4. Call out. You're headed there. I'll meet you there. I'm gonna get the Durango.
Medical in and out popular.
Just Adam 8, going to be code 4.
Oh.
The most
Can you pull up? I can't get out because the car's there stuck. Oh, it's right here. So bang a left and go ahead, and we're gonna go code 2 to this. So.
So code 2 is lights, no
code 2 is
immediate
lights, no
rush.
siren. Well, I mean, it is an
Or
individual
do we still
down, so
rush?
technically we should go. So code 3 would technically be lights and sirens. Code 2 is just lights when like expedient. So hang a right here.
White and color neon.
Oh, I see.
Pull up in the median a little bit. A little forward, right there should be perfect.
Everyone's got to wave off to refuel.
It appears they are calling the sheriff's office.
Medic 1 on scene. Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, I'm Firefighter Dawson. I'm here to look at you.
Rescue 1,
Firefighter
Medic
now?
1, show us
Can
off.
you tell me what happened to you? Yeah, I'm a firefighter.
Possible ejection from a Sand King.
Fuck, I was just driving and then all of a sudden I fell out of my car. I might have blacked out.
Okay, so you were driving and blacked out, and next thing you know, you're on the ground?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't really remember what happened. Kinda went all fuzzy.
Alright, no worries. So, Captain, he was driving the Sand King there, as you see. He blacked out and got ejected. So, let's see, have you been, any kind of medical issues that we need to worry about?
Currently on the phone, I believe she's the one calling the sheriff's office.
What
Hey,
is this local
Mark,
doing?
or Emma, one of you, do me a favor, move your ambush so that we block this off just for scene safety.
Everyone is back.
Oh,
on
she's
scene.
pissed.
Missed. Oh god. Oh!
For fuck's sake.
That was my bad. I told him to park in the wrong spot.
Rescue 1, can we have SO attendance on the scene 9246 traffic control?
Let me over.
Jesus.
What in the actual...
Show 3
What?
Academy,
Okay.
going to be 76ing to
Can I go
Okay.
on the sidewalk?
fire and rescue.
Dude, get your assessment done, see if he's able to move. I'm gonna move my car.
Alright. Alright, I'm just gonna check your pulse here, make sure you, and give you a good once over, make sure you've got nothing broken or bleeding, okay?
Everyone be advised,
If I could put-
the people at the VU are starting to get anxious about you hovering that long above them. Switch positions for a bit, and pretend you're looking at something else, then go back.
10-4, wasn't aware that they were seeing
Yeah, we
me.
got a, moderate pulse, it is steady, I'm not showing any kind of, it's just a little bit of an elevated pulse, probably just from the stress of the whole situation. I'm not seeing any kind of crazy injuries, though. I mean, it's not that bad, you're fine.
I guess still tilted, so fine,
Yeah, it's all good, So, so basically,
Italian.
Captain, he was driving, he, said he was driving and he blacked out, next thing he knows, he was on the ground, so...
Okay.
That definitely looks
let's
like to be
go
a windshield ejection from what I can see.
Okay. So let's go ahead, let's get C-spine, let's get spinal in there. Get me blood sugar level, standard vitals. Let's take all the precautions here.
Breathing is good, no airway obstruction, he is responsive. Pulse is moderate, about 86.
Okay.
I do not have visual.
And,
I drove by.
and I will grab the C-collar.
Yeah.
He is running under the bridge, northbound towards the ammunition.
See if this will... Nope,
Now
it's not
heading
going.
east on the sidewalk. Apple Boulevard.
Pablo?
He is stopped
Hey.
and is looking at his phone while walking. Answered his phone and has continued to run. He is heading east. If I turn around now, I'll be suspicious.
I swear to God, I got a dash cam.
Maintaining visual.
Uh-huh. I mean, look, we're not here to judge you. We're not here to question you on it. We're just here to make sure you're okay. Mark, in your bag, you've got a glucose test kit, little finger prick, little blood on the stick. Go ahead, get me a reading on that real quick.
What's that do?
Don't worry about it.
He's still continuing north towards Legion Square.
It just checks your sugar, to make sure that your blood sugar hasn't gone too low, which could have caused you to black out.
Visual again, moving to retake contact.
Yeah, it's nothing invasive or any kind of crazy thing. You're just gonna feel a little bit of a pinprick here on the tip of your finger.
We're just confirming that you're type A diabetic and
He
you
is
can never
currently
eat pizza
stopped
again.
at
Yeah.
Midway Point
Are you a diabetic, sir?
near Legion Square. At the bank building.
Not as far as I can tell, but I haven't been to the doctor in 30 years.
Well, I'm sorry to break you the news, Frank.
Hey,
there's no copper in 30
Hey,
years.
you're gonna feel a little prick, sir.
You
Yeah.
pricked him into unconsciousness. That's nice.
It's a strong prick.
10-4, I have eyes on. Is it look
Heading
like
north.
running?
Is this weird? He's got a really low readout.
Okay. Let's go ahead, get him started on saline. Actually, you know what? There's a little bay underneath the jump seat, like a little bag in there. It's we've basically got a glucose reviver kit. Just go ahead, grab that, and get that started up. It infuses with a saline bag.
Okay.
Do we have the okay for the arrest?
So let's go ahead. Let's get him started on a 16 gauge IV. We don't need anything super big.
Alright, I'm
Get
gonna have
that
to
drip
cut the
started.
sleeve open here to get to the arm.
Just put it on the back of his hand if he's got good veins there.
Alright, let me take a
I
look
got, I
here.
got good veins.
Also lost
This is an
visual. I
expensive
couldn't
thing.
keep up.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't look. I'm sure it is.
He's heading
It's not
east.
expensive now. It's been fucking run over.
Motherfucker.
Southbound now towards the BU.
So,
I
sir,
can't type now, asshole.
when was the last time you had anything to eat?
Confirming, does he know
He's heading
you
north.
guys are following him?
Does
Now head east
marijuana count?
towards the car dealership.
Okay, like, what was the last thing that you like? What was the last thing that you truly ate though? Was it a decent sized meal? Was it a sandwich? Was it crackers? Was it crack cocaine
it
up
was
a
like
hooker's ass?
Well, you don't kiss and tell. It was a Twix.
I'm gonna hand you the needle here.
It was a
thank you.
Twix. Okay.
Yeah, Twix thing. Yeah.
Okay. Have you been taking anything today that we need to know about? Have you been drinking any alcohol, doing any marijuana, opiates, anything like that?
I don't do drugs.
Okay. All right.
Marijuana is a plant.
It's still a drug, but anyway, we're not going to get it. We're not here to argue the semantics on that. We're just here to make sure that
Saline
we're just here to make sure what we're giving you is not going to do anything bad.
That fucking hurt.
Obviously not that bad because that was pretty delayed.
Well, he was talking, so I didn't want to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like I said, not that bad because regardless that you would have reacted to the pain if it really hurt. So
Alright.
why don't you just relax and we're just gonna get this saline glucose in with you.
So,
10-4.
since we got the C-spine in place, we got the spinal protection, let's go ahead. Got the bag going. Load him up on the stretcher. If there's no other obvious injuries that we need to take care of.
That's what I see.
Is there anywhere in particular, sir, that's hurting you? Anywhere in particular that we need to be aware of?
My ankles hurt.
Both of them, or your left or your right?
Both of them hurt.
Okay. Any pre-existing injuries or any other issues that you've been hurting before you're coming out of the car there?
I mean, he's pretty old.
Hey.
If you BCB,
I'm sorry.
Correct. You're correct.
return to MRPD.
But no, there's no existing issues besides the
Okay. All right.
I might
So
have
all right. So in that case, then, since we got complaints of ankle pain, let's go ahead, Mark, get the shoes off, do an assessment there on that. Let me know what you found.
Roger.
Avery, do you still need it?
So I'm gonna undo your laces and slip your shoes off here as delicately as I can.
No. So
I'm gonna lightly.
I'm old.
Because
Just slip off.
Oh, slip off. Oh,
him 20
even
minutes
better for
ago
me.
not to speak.
Yeah, those looks like some
Stupid.
Binko special boat shoes right there.
He's fed and was
Yeah,
stupid.
I'm gonna gently slip off your shoes, sir, and I'm gonna briefly and delicately touch around your your ankles and tell me on a scale of 1 to oh my god how much it hurts.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Yeah, we got a roll call at MR. So.
So
Oh, fucking
tell me how you feel.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, make
You're
sure
fucking yank it even harder.
Alright, calm down. He's
Gonna
not being
yank
that
my
rough.
foot off.
He's not being that aggressive or rough with you. He's being calm and gentle. You're just in pain. You just need to relax and let him do his assessment.
You got some
Alright,
morphine?
Frank, for the last
So
time,
you're-
stop being stupid. Stop driving fast.
I don't drive fast.
Bullshit.
So the right ankle's hurting for him pretty bad, and your left.
The left one's kind of fine, yeah.
Okay,
kind
so
of fine.
mainly a right ankle energy, pain, pretty severe.
Okay. All right.
But he is feeling it, so
That'll
that's
be-
a good sign.
Yeah.
Hey, any obvious signs of dislocation, fracture, anything like that? Or is it just tender to touch?
I was lightly touching it, so I'm gonna say tender. Yeah.
Okay. So next thing, just make sure we've got flexion, so toes and everything move there.
Can you
So
wiggle your toes for us, sir?
Yeah, can you wiggle your toes for me?
I haven't wiggled my toes since fucking 89.
Well, I'm gonna really need you to try today, okay? In 2023.
Alright.
3 Adam Maid, 3 Charles 1.
Currently 10-6 at MR.
10-4.
Mark, go ahead and just put your hand on the bottom of his foot there, and sir, I want you to push down if you're able to at all, just onto his hand that you feel on your foot. Just, you know. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, I can do that.
Alright.
Okay.
Only half my toes work.
I mean, that could be separated. But anyway, so we do have flexion.
Okay, so
Sir, you've been
gonna-
immobilized. Please lay down. Thank you.
So I'm gonna ask you a quick question here, sir. Since you said you haven't moved your toes in a while, do you normally have any issues with your toes feeling tingly or numb or anything like that?
No, but I am missing 2 of them.
Motherfucker.
Okay.
God.
Why are you missing those in particular? You said that there was previously no injuries or anything. It's just generally uncommon that if there's no injuries, we don't have toes.
Well, it's not an injury, it's just missing.
Okay. Were they taken off in an accident? Did you shoot yourself in the foot? Did somebody cut them off you as punishment for something?
Yeah. I was drunk hunting one night, and I almost shot my dick off, but I shot my toes off.
Motherfucker, I swear to God, if you put me in,
Clean your gun when you do
if you put Link and you hunting, the reason that you don't have a toe, I swear
so
to fucking
given that it's
Christ,
just
I'm
painful
gonna
to the
beat your
touch,
ass when I see
so
you
we're
next.
not going to immobilize or anything like that. It's more than likely going to be a superficial sprain, maybe just some severe bruising.
This is
Unfortunately,
payback
we don't
for
have
last
an
night. I know it
X-ray
is.
right now.
You're gonna
If
rope
you
up my other
wanted to splint
fucking
it, you
big
could,
pair of
but
boots
given
into
that
your
he's got good
injury now,
flexion,
aren't you? The reason
we're-
that you don't have
we
fucking
wouldn't be
toes on your foot.
suspicious of anything other than
Son of
maybe
a
this something coming from the ejection there. So, with that in mind, how bad is your pain on a scale of 1 being it's a breeze to 10, oh god, please kick me in the balls, it'll be easier.
Damn, that is quite the pain scale.
Okay, I didn't catch that number, sir. You kind of trailed off there. Can you?
Like a 3, I'd say.
Like a 3. Okay.
You're a bitch.
So for a 3, I can
Are you
give you a
are you gonna
Flintstones
put
gummy
Link
or
in there as
supportive
the reason you
words.
don't
What
have
would you
toes?
Sorry, what was that?
So for a 3, we give a Flintstones gummy or give you a supportive affirmation of the day.
I want the gummy.
You want the gummy? Okay. Mark, go ahead. Go get 1 Flintstones gummy, and then we'll get him loaded up. Get him
I
in
think
the bus.
I have some here actually, if in my medical
Oh, you
kit.
do? Okay.
I want my shoes back too.
Yeah, I have your shoes right here next to your feet, sir.
There you go.
Fantastic.
All right, but he's good for
So,
transport.
Yeah, let's go ahead, get him on there. Put his shoes just on his lap once he's on the board. Get him in the bus.
I can
One
put
of
him
you
in a
ride in
body
the back with him. I'll follow behind.
I mean,
and
you can just throw it in my flatbed.
no, well, no, we're
I don't want to be responsible for losing your
yeah,
shoes, sir. If someone
you're
comes
gonna
to
need to take them with you to the hospital, sir. So that way, then when you get discharged, we will need one of you will need to just see if the gentleman can give you reach into his pockets and give you his ID when you're in the bus. But let's get him out of the street. Let's get him packaged, get him off, and we'll go from there.
All right, sir. I'm just gonna come. Your car will be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
If I give you the keys, can you lock it?
I mean, if you'd like, I can move it off to the side of the road and lock it for you. That's not a problem. I'll just maybe put it under the bridge over there off to the right.
Alright, sounds good, yeah.
All right. just want to think about giving out your keys there, we'll get that taken care of.
You gotta be plus the vehicle.
Yeah, we gotta get them on the stretcher and over to the...
Yeah.
Maybe. It's
Yeah.
not. Can you try? It's Captain. It's not letting. My muscles are broken, Megan.
There was a secondary stretcher in the ambulance for me.
Weird. Okay.
I don't know if this one is damaged.
All right.
Frank, if we help you up on your own feet, you think you can climb on this stretcher for me?
Yeah, might be the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do?
He should be feeling a bit better from that trip anyway.
Yeah, so we're gonna help you on your feet. So you know, I'm gonna get your right side here. The captain will get your left side, and we're gonna help you stand up. We just want you to sit down in the stretcher, okay?
Sounds good, yeah.
All right, Captain. On the count of 3, 1, 2, and 3.
Lift.
There we go. All right, if you want to go ahead and just take a seat here for me.
I can't sit on it.
You may need to walk away and come back to it.
Yeah, just try and move towards the bottom here. See if you can. About there, you might feel like you can take a seat with your E muscle.
There we go.
All right. Go ahead. Let's get him closer to the truck. We'll get some keys, and then we'll get him on the way. We're blocking traffic back.
All right, go ahead.
It's I don't have keys to the stretcher.
Oh, that's right. Crap.
Don't have keys to give.
Can you get off the stretcher? And we'll help you move your vehicle. And now try.
I need to get in it. 1 sec.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was suffering a bit of the scuffitis also for a second.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. There we go.
Alrighty. Let's get you loaded up and to the hospital.
You gotta fiddle with the key. You got it.
Got enough room? Yeah.
Alright.
If I give you $100, give me back.
Get in. Alrighty, Frank.
How's it going?
Well, I mean, it's alright.
There we go.
You see
Did
that?
you get my shoes?
Yeah, your shoes are here on the stretcher, between your legs.
Oh, I can't see down there.
I got your shoes. They're here on your stretcher.
Oh, okay, nice. Good. Too expensive.
So, yeah, we copied that traffic. Medic 1 on route to pillbox.
I won them at a raffle.
Those shoes?
Yeah. It was on my buddy's yacht.
Alright, fair enough. Follow the captain, Mark.
Get an escort?
Yep. Yeah, just follow him there.
Yeah, I'm a VIP. I get the escorts.
Lucky you.
Oh, lucky you. You get to meet the great Falcone.
You're gonna take that right onto Elgin, I believe. So the next one.
Rescue 1, show me out. Pillbox Medical Center, waiting medic 1.
Medic 1 arrived at pillbox. That's weird.
Rescue 1 to SO, you on comm?
Wait, 1, who's coming?
Mark, see if it lets you take the stretcher out. Where's the patient?
But I believe the stretcher's kind of
Okay, move away really quick. Oh no. Okay. Frank, are you able to get off the stretcher? Does it give you any options? There he is. What the heck happened?
He had me. He had me
Fair
all
enough. Alright, so bring him on right over here to Deborah here. Hey Deborah. We got a Mr. Frank Falcone here. Motor vehicle accident, was ejected after being blacked out due to sugar level being too low. Injury to right ankle. It's tender to touch. Can, you know, has flexation and everything.
There has been a hand identified.
Vitals are steady, moderate pulse. Alright, Frank, if you want to go ahead and hop off the stretcher here, Deborah will take care of you.
Don't forget your shoes.
Yeah, make sure you grab your shoes.
Yeah, my shoes. Thank you.
Mark, see if you can... Is it the stretcher just there? Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Alright, Frank.
3 Kilo 1-5 is gonna go ahead and 76.
Are you able to smoke in here?
Give you some backup.
No, it's a hospital. You can't smoke in here. You have to go outside.
Okay.
Kilo 1-5, wait.
Back away from the situation. You guys get out of here. Clear the situation.
Alright.
Alright, stow that and let's go.
Personnel, clear the situation.
He still has a stretcher in his hands in my eyes. Make sure you put it
Yeah, same here.
Seen moving other way.
Well, we just need to get to the firehouse. Let's just go back to the
Yeah.
firehouse for now. So just get out of here, bang a right. Make sure you're buckled up. That stretcher's not gonna play nice.
I was handling the body again.
Medic 1 clear of last call, returning to quarters. You just got scuffed. Well, we appreciate you RPing it, man. It's now tonight's gonna fucking ramp up, and I'm not probably gonna deal with it, to be honest.
Oh, our lights are gone.
Yeah, it's the whole thing is scuffed. So just bang a left here. I think this ambulance is having some issues.
Yeah. Well, when you took out the first one, there was a secondary stretcher inside the ambulance, and I couldn't do anything with your stretcher.
Yeah, it's very odd. Hopefully, I know that the city is actively working on getting our stretchers fixed because they are suffering a little bit of the scuffitis, but when they work great. Not gonna lie.
Oh,
But,
absolutely.
But go ahead and just swing around. I'm gonna put this. We're gonna, you know, just pull in like you normally would, and I'm gonna see if we can just put this ambulance away and summon another one if we have to. Or actually, we're gonna be going with the captain and the Durango, so we'll just do that. But yeah, we need to get rid of this ambulance.
Whenever we put the ambulance away, does our garage attendant go and put the ambulance and like fill it up and stuff?
No, it always comes out at half a tank. This should be okay. Let me see if I can put it away.
3 Charles 1, 3 Charles 8 direct.
That's me, Charles 8.
Is it just me?
Switch tack 5.
No, I see it too.
Or
Yeah.
but this wasn't like this when we left.
No, the whole thing is scuffed, and my ambulance isn't going away either now.
That's probably because he was the last one to drive it.
I mean, it let me remove it, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let me get you down to the thing that you wanted to go see anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
This ring is so cool.
This thing's quite zippy.
Oh yeah, this thing's ridiculously fast.
Hold on to your butts.
Whoa! That is really crazy. I'm gonna buckle
150
my
and no
seatbelt now.
fucking seconds flat. Yeah, you should always be wearing your seatbelt.
Especially when the cap's driving.
Especially when the cap's driving.
I mean, that being said, I have a I am actually okay. That light post just almost fell on top of us, and we didn't even touch it.
You would say you are a very good driver.
Well, considering that half the police force we have here, the sheriff's office right now, were all trained by me to drive, including in pursuit manners. Yeah.
Ooh.
I used to work with a lot of them, and I was the lieutenant in charge of special operations. So, highway patrol, things like that were mine, and the interceptors. And all right, moving on. Strange that there's a blue fucking Humvee here, but anyway. So,
Humvee,
I'm going to preface this by saying what I'm about to show you, not very many people know. It is to stay in the emergency services only. Do not bring anybody else here.
What?
Just think about unlocking the door.
Wow, okay. What the fuck?
1-5, anything on your end?
Negative, checking the back entrance to pillbox now.
10-4.
Jesus. Wow, okay. I did not know this was down here.
Oh. Oh, I see.
Now, it is possible that they may have been somewhat removed. There are PD vehicles in here. There are some fire department vehicles. The ones that are the fire department look to be the older ones to me. Do not test drive the police ones. Don't buy a police one.
Yeah, it looks like the ambulances aren't there no more, but the fire department Tesla's still there.
For now. But yeah, so when I know the ambulances are back in stock, this is where you come. So
sounds good.
Let's head back to the station, I guess.
Ball 3-2, ball 4-1.
Go ahead.
Check your PT.
Yeah, I didn't know where this was. I knew that we had the option to buy our own emergency vehicles, and I knew that there was an emergency vehicle specific dealership, but I had no idea where it was.
Negative on that.
Where the fuck are people getting, like, you know, their fucking skylines and shit from. Can I get it from here?
Yeah, you can get it from here.
What's it under? Because I only ever see like
street.
the Lampadottis and shit like that, unless I'm going to the wrong panels.
No, it should be the.
You're saying street.
Yeah, if you go there, or is it sports? I forget.
I've got compact sedans.
It's under sports. It's like halfway down in sports.
Belzer, Euros, Rustin, Comet, Jester, Devastate, Chameleon, Schwarzer, Ballista 2, Schlagen, Vector, Rapid, Sultan, Buffalo, Flash, Elegy, Shafter, Spectre, Sultan, Hot Ring, Rapid, Spectre, Jester, Mascaro, Tropos, Z-Type, Buffalo.
Dave, you paid 185,000 for the fucking neon.
I've seen it.
It's the elegy.
Is it the elegy? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There it is. $50,000. Okay.
Yeah, it's the cheapest, practically the cheapest car on the market. I believe.
Okay. All right.
I have one of my own, but I don't drive it. I need to get it the rest.
This is the newer Jester. Okay.
Yeah.
That actually doesn't look half bad.
It's very moddable too. Or so
Oh,
I've
really?
heard. Yeah.
I just want a Cheetah Classic, the old school Ferrari type, but they don't seem to have it.
Wait. You sure you're not thinking of the Turismo 2?
Maybe, maybe not. Pull it out and we'll see. No, no, nope. This is definitely.
It kind of looks like what you're talking about.
No, because this has actually got Turismo written on it. Very similar style, but the one I'm thinking of is the one that has like the flat portion where the engine bay is. And it's the fully pop-up lights. Yeah, they don't seem to have it.
That sucks.
Supposedly this is a sports classic, but yet it looks stupid modern. But
I really like the Monroe they have.
yeah,
The Monroe is pretty nice.
3 Adam 8 dispatch, show the pillbox scene currently going to be code 476ing back to MRPD with a piece of evidence.
Oh? Did you find it?
No, that's the
It's got pop-ups.
That's the Infernus.
Classic Infernus.
No, that's the wrong one as well.
Okay, catch that car.
This is, oh Jesus Christ, no, there's no way I'm gonna be able to catch up to him.
Reanimate secondary, we'll try and follow it for a bit. If we can't find him, then fuck it at this point.
Fucking contender, Jesus Christ, bro.
Not sure where he
He's on our
went.
left, he's on our left, West
Jeez.
Lagunas Boulevard, heading northbound.
Left, Los Lagunas?
Yep, he's parallel to us.
Go ahead over past, take lead. I got Dex in the car. I don't want to pull anything too dangerous.
That's not bad.
It's the newer LG, the modern one,
Code 60,
or the one that they sell to this day.
BCB at this time. Reanimate, 3 kilo 15, gonna be good for on this one.
10-4.
Post it to the Discord. I'll take a look at it when I'm done here. We're gonna end stream in 15 minutes when the storm hits.
Were you purposely hydraulic jumping on that?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, we'll do it as soon as I end stream. Like I said, I'm gonna be ending stream in 13 minutes when the storm hits.
Hey, Sheriff, I'm pushing a harassment charge on a personal level on.
What the fuck?
I am going to be pushing on a personal level a harassment charge against Marvin Shields at this time.
What the fuck is Marvin doing?
Understood. Get some screen captures and send them my way.
Will after I handle this evidence.
This is Kilo 15. Show me going westbound on Adams Apple Boulevard. There's a blue vehicle that looks absolutely wrecked to shit in front of PD. I'm gonna investigate.
10-4.
Oh, quick question. Do we have systems in place for doing water rescue?
Yes, we do. Let me show you real quick. What time limit do we have before that storm hits?
12 minutes.
Plenty of time. We are working on a new system for the rescue that I pulled out because it actually has a boat that can go up on top. But the boat at the moment, the engine is failing us when we try and turn.
Oh.
So that would be our primary water rescue unit. Just cut the corner here, go the wrong lanes, it's fine. So that would be our primary rescue for water unit. If we need something bigger, more technical stuff like dive team, things like that, they can come down here. Because I don't want to lose our only way back to the station. Emma, you want to pull the big boat?
Vehicle's coming up as local. There's no one really around here, and there's nothing inside the vehicle. Show 3 Kilo 15 going back.
That's not correct.
4 Kilo 15.
Rather inbound to MRPD.
Emma, did you change the colors?
I can't. Why is it not letting me out?
She's fine. She'll get out of there.
We've got eyes on the same vehicle that passed us going super fast. Green in color, black race.
Yeah, why is it a sheriff boat now?
I'm assuming that it's changed. Put it away, try the little boat. Change the liveries on there.
That's a really nice big boat, though.
It's supposed to be red and says fire rescue on it.
Well, it's meant to be blue.
Oh, yeah. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. See, will that turn for you, Emmer?
It wasn't even turning on for me.
Yeah, just try and see if you can get in there. Driver's seat. All right, see if you can move it. Okay. Take a left turn, right turn. Yeah. Get the big boats. Yeah. So the idea being the rescue truck will act as a manpower squad, so it can go to medical calls, can go to fire calls, and if we get a water rescue, can pretty well drive right there, drop the boat, and they can fit. Because the rule is the rule of two. Two people go everywhere. So one person will technically own the truck, the other owns the boat. So they go out. If they can rescue two, if it's a bigger rescue, it gets time for people anyway to just get out of the water. And then we can get, other apparatus there. So, but we've just got to get that engine fixed.
And then you can do on scene, go anywhere on the coast, and then just go out.
Yeah, because the big boats, we can pull the bigger ones here and up at Sandy Shores at the marina.
You don't have the means for putting it on a trailer yet and dragging it around. Coming soon.
Coming soon to a compound near you.
So when it comes to the rest of Fire Rescue, when they start opening other places, say like a spot up north, will we just be separated between the two places? Or would that be a different district kind of department?
It's a different district. So we're deciding whether it's going to be a different battalion or a different district, and then you can choose which battalion you want to go work for. So like down here might be Battalion 1, and then up north might be Battalion 2, and then you'll have a battalion chief, and then maybe another, captain, and then a lieutenant, and then you got your firefighters, paramedics, etc.
So as of right now, if you get a call for like way up north, we'd have to go.
Yeah. And that thing exists. Because then we can put a paramedic, whether that's myself, Theo, Blake, in this thing, get them up
be
there.
First on scene, and then you have the ambulance trail behind to get 'em.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Really smart.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know if you noticed today that ambulance only goes like 65.
Yeah, it's pretty lacking, but there's no reason to transport a patient at 100 miles an hour.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, that's why we have this, like you were saying. That way they can get up there super fast and at least figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have tested this out, and theoretically the top speed is 205 miles an hour. It comfortably cruises at 195 miles an hour.
Wow. I hope we don't lose the ambulance, considering we can't put it away. Or does it just respawn in there?
Yeah,
Or
so
with
the
George?
garage has think of it almost as an endless pool of vehicles.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright. So that being said, that's pretty well my shift for the day.
Yeah, same.
But, so Mark, because given that you came out on calls, kind of saw how it all went, I am fine with you going out by yourself if you want to come back on shift after the storm. That being said, if you want to ride with somebody, that's fine. Just wait until you know someone's around. I will be around for some of tomorrow, maybe a little bit later than usual. I feel like I have to go get a piece of me removed. So we'll see how that all goes.
Oh.
Yeah, potential skin cancer's a bitch.
Good luck with that. It is a bitch.
Yeah, first one. I'm lucky to make it this far. I've had friends that have already had like 2 or 3 pulled out, so. Oh well. But yeah, that being said, if you want to be alone, by all means, my emails are open any time of day. If I don't get back to you right away, it may mean that I'm asleep or busy, but I will get back to you. I guarantee you that. That being said, there's no definitive window of you must do X amount of hours, you must do this. It's when you're feeling comfortable and you're feeling happy, or I see that you're doing what's expected. That's when, you know, we'll bump you.
Okay.
So don't feel like you're under pressure. If you want to take it slow, take it slow. If you want to be here 27 hours a day, be here 27 hours a day. But it's on my recommendation to the chief that anyone gets promoted. So you have to be comfortable. I have to see that you're comfortable. I have to see that you're doing what you're doing. That you know, doing what you need to. That being said, because you are probationary, you're on a little bit of a stricter leash. So, you know, just if you are concerned you might violate policy or anything, ask. Because, you know, I don't want to have to go in and be like, okay, this is you've done your one free ride chance. You fuck up again, you're out the door speech. But yeah, just be mindful.
Yeah, and just remember, you know, we stabilize and we transport. That's what we do. That's the name of our game. You're not expected to save their, you know, like to be fixing them, you know, and reattaching their whatever all right there. And also, you're not expected to sit here at the firehouse. By all means, get out there, community outreach, let people know that we're here.
Yes, please. If you're someone that likes to patrol, go patrol. Interact with people, say hi.
Just watch your fuel.
Just, yeah, with this guy going around, if you see any hatchet-related bullshit, call PD. All right, that's what Channel 4 is for. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're like at the at Pillbox, as we were entering, there was, you know, blood all over the trash can. So that's just something.
Yeah, I stuck my head in there and there was a fucking hand. Yeah, it's
oh
great.
my god, dude. I wonder if it's from last night.
I would more than likely say yes, and I'm worried that single fucking footprint of blood near my truck is the foot.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, so just watch yourselves, and if you have any questions, if anything
Why
makes
is he
you
targeting us? All right, that's a good stopping point. I have no idea. There we go. I don't know why that was turned off. That's a good stopping point. I want to thank everybody for coming out and viewing the stream. I really appreciate it. We'll probably stream again. I know that it disconnected. We'll probably stream again tomorrow. About midday. Usually I run a stream on Link. Thanks for following, my guy. But on normally about midday, around 2:30, I try to stream on Link for a few hours, just getting White Widow and everything set up, and then kind of go from there.
But then basically when we go from that, you know, I take a break because I'll usually stream about 2:30, 3 o'clock Eastern time, and then up until about like dinner, which is the like the 6 p.m. server restart, and then I usually swap over to Emma and I play her for pretty much the rest of the evening because she is my primary character. She is my main character, so I devote most of my time to her. So that usually you'll see, that's why you'll see 2 streams from me, one midday and one in the evening. My evening one is 99% EMS. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. Well, like I said, tomorrow we'll be streaming again, so we'll see you then, and then from there on, you know, we'll just go from there. Let's see if we can raid anybody. Yep. Don't think Twitch is gonna like me today. There we go. So we're gonna raid. All right, everybody. Have a good one.